Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another live stream. Unfortunately, my co-hosts have lives, so they're not here with me right now. For shame, for shame. I kind of want to see if Neo would be willing to join at some point, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to play a little bit of Opera Omnia, mainly doing so. Oh, yes, free pool. Please, God. Please, God. Please. Give me the Emperor of Hell's power, please. A little weird to ask, I know, but come on, God, help me out here. And then in a little bit, we'll be hitting up versus Battle Wiki's DMC speed revision thread. And kind of funny, because of the fact that right before it came out, someone created another content revision thread for V. Go figure. Yeah! Yeah! Thank you, God! First pull! First pull! God, it's the... Yes! Yes! Oh, Emperor's like one of my favorite characters, like design-wise and shit. Oh, hello, Excalibur. Welcome to the stream. In a little bit, we'll be hitting up versus Battle Wiki. Don't worry about that guy. I actually expected this to take longer. I expected this to take more. Yes! Yes! Yo, are you serious? No! Hey, wait, did he go to Davis? Sorry, Pimp Demon, hello, I'm sorry. I thought I already said hello to you. Yo, did he go to Davis? Oh, fuck me, I didn't check the Google chat. Wait. Hey, Mario, or Mateo, hey, if you guys, hey, dude, like, I mean, I said I'd give you a pizza when you get expelled. You tell Mateo, he hasn't gotten expelled yet. I was gonna say, yo, if he's expelled, pick me up later. Let's go around table and fucking, you know, eat some pizza. But, alright, besides that point, my hopes up for nothing. Alright, sorry guys. My friend's having some real life issues. Let me see what the chat's saying. No, he's not expelled yet. Nah, don't count your baskets. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I mean, I have faith. Okay, now let me take a look at this. I had someone try to debate me on Kratos versus Dante, and I was like, bro, I've already debated that hundreds of times before, and I'm kind of run ragged at that debate. Dude, the problem is that these people don't bring up new shit. I've seen Genshin Impact's gameplay. It looks annoying as hell. It looks non-game play. Lamau, like, if you don't exist... Oh yeah, Pimp, I saw your Reddit, I did respond to your Reddit post. I just don't know what the fuck this does. Okay, hang on. My Hellscape. Cyrus no attack plus. Okay, so I might get Cyberpunk to stream, but that's about it. I'm also not too. I don't like CD Projekt Red's games all that much. I know a lot of people do. I'm not very excited for Cyberpunk. I mean Cyberpunk. This bitch comes on my stream and fucking talks about getting Cyberpunk. I actually just had wings from pizza last night, and this morning I would have been streaming earlier, but this morning, right when I woke up, my let's just say my bowel movements were like, you want to fucking stream early? Nah, son, you ate lemon pepper wings. You don't get freedom in the morning anymore. Okay. I've been in the bathroom for like an hour before an hour and a half before I got here. Understand? Have you had? I have not had Wingstop. Why the fuck you know? Well, I mean, I guess on the channel you can call. Yeah, I guess on the channel you can call me. But you know my fucking name. No, dude, I'm super excited because Emperor is one of my favorite characters. I might buy Emperor's skin. I might buy his skin. I might buy his skin because Emperor is. I've always wanted the Emperor, but unfortunately he came out at a time. Try Wingstop. I think our bird tried Wingstop. That's where he learned what he liked. Disgusting. Isn't your name Tyler? My name's not Tyler. Hey Weezer, what's up? We'll be doing the versus battle wiki shit in a little bit. I'm just taking care of myself. Beautiful. Beautiful. I have not bought the Emperor skin yet. So this is actually what the Emperor skin looks like. Here we go. Look. Emperor skin is actually one of the better skins in this game. And actually, my Emperor is fully built up, so I don't even have to go through summon boards and shit. I can just... Oh, yeah. I bought Arden's skin, by the way. I ended up simping for Arden because, you know, I'm just a Final Fantasy 15 simp. Let me show you guys Emperor skin real fast. I really need to sit down and play this game some more because I've been ignoring it hard. Okay. This is Emperor skin. So for context, this is what Emperor looks like in Final Fantasy 2 for the most part. This is his design for the majority of the game. And I might get it. I might. Because Emperor's getting a burst weapon in the future, so I might just wait for it then. Oh yeah, I got Kefka's full kit too, in case any of you guys fucking care. But I'm not buying this skin because I think Kefka's a shitty character. I'm not like my boy Arden here. I personally think Dante would win due to the fact that he has way better reaction times and arguably much better fighting style as Kratos. Dante is just more... I think we might have Fetty joining us today, ironically enough. It's a little ironic because we'll be going over the versus battle wiki thread, and he's on the thread because I guess he's a versus battle wiki member. Go figure. So it'll be a little weird doing that. Wait, what does he have any actual? It's because I think he's only buffed for his mission. What is this? What is this? Do you think Virgil's first rose foolishness and just pulled out a tiny Yamato? That's actually how his dad knew what to... Wait a minute. No, you should have everything. You should... Oh, are you missing your character board? Oh, you are. That's gross. Let's fix that. Who y'all think would win in this fight? Berserker, Gears of War, or Rewarded in Saints Row 4? I have a dislike already. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? I haven't even started the versus battle wiki content yet and they're already disliking me? What the fuck is this? I haven't even gotten to that part yet. Maybe that's the dislike. Maybe that's a dislike because I'm done yet. Warden should be... Ooh. Well, fucking on a minute. Berserk... Warden, I want to say wins because of his powers, but he doesn't really... Wait, where the fuck is Emperor? Someone throw Freddy out the airlock. Here he is. Yeah, he just got it. Okay, I was going to say, where the fuck is... Honestly, the villains are... No, so some people from Versus Battle Wiki are subscribed to my channel, from what I understand, and a lot of them are from the DMC realm. So it's entirely possible I just got disliked by someone from the DMC section for either A, not starting on Versus Battle Wiki, or B, just like talking about Versus Battle Wiki again in general. It means suspect. It means like you're a suspect, like you're suspect. Because in Among Us you have to capture an imposter. Yeah, because you have to type fast. I'll tell you what, after I'm done, I'll show you how the game plays, because I actually do have the game on mobile. I wonder what Emperor's dialogue lines are. it's weird. Can I just say how fucking... Oh, Nah. I put Master of Hell then versus Battle Wiki. No one can give me shit if they show up versus Battle Wiki content. I literally put then, so very clearly we're doing something a little earlier first. And I thought it was going to take a while, but since I'm going to be by myself, it shouldn't take too long. Colonel Sanders versus Jack from Jack in the Box. Who would win this fight? I'm trying to think of all the commercials I've actually watched from Jack in the Box to see what Jack has actually done. Fuck. I'm gonna be honest. I'd give it to Jack. I'd give it to Jack. Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't have Diabolos. That's disgusting. Oh, that is gross. Oh, I'll have to sit down and work on Diabolos later. That's fine, but he should be strong enough for my purposes. I'm pretty sure Jack would win. Colonel Sanders doesn't have any real feats. Oh, hang on a minute. What do you mean? But what do you mean you're missing 10? Oh, whoa, why are you missing? Oh, that's garbage. Go attack 188. That's still not enough, is it? It's still not enough. Oh, I have such... Why are your... Sounds good, Ifedi. Sounds good. Hang on. Get rid of that defense. Defense is a stupid-ass fucking thing in this game. Can you really separate the art from the artist? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm not going to talk about specifics, but I am aware that there were certain situations with a lot of people recently where people would say that's not possible or that's not the case. But yes, you can't separate art from the artist. It's just that you gotta keep in mind, especially if you are buying more recent art right now. Guess who's got the LD2, boys? Let's see what this fucker brings to the table. Oh, I got download shit. Gross. Oh, the dislike was probably from Mario. Fuck, I forgot he was fucking there, actually. That was probably the fucking dislike from him. Hey, Fetty, I'm gonna need you to link that speed revision thread when you get the chance. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off hard with a Hellish Gate. See what this does. Beautiful. The speeder... Well, I can already scroll up to the hacks one. I just need you to put the speed one down, because that's the one we'll be mainly talking about today. Alright, let's go ahead and... oh, we have Ichi attack 3. Let's go ahead and bust out that Beckoning Blast. I mean, I'll go ahead and go over the claims real fast of the other one, but if the other one's already closed, then like there's no real reason to. Dude, so basically it drops all 3 traps in one ability usage, and if I'm not mistaken, or hang on. No, it doesn't? Okay, what I want to know is whether or not the HP++ actually procs traps or not. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Does it take away the trap though? Because that's the main thing that needs to be changed. Oh my goodness! Wait, no, he just did this. What the fuck is he doing? Puck. You're from Versus Battles, aren't you? Also, welcome to the stream, Puck. Currently playing some Emperor. Oh, it's because, like, so... the main thing I wanted to really discuss, conceptual manipulation wasn't targeted. Okay, look, here's the thing. If you've been on my channel, you guys know very well that I scale DMC vastly higher than Versus Battle Wiki does. So I'm actually a little more objective this time around because I basically separated my power scaling of DMC. Oh, Leonia, good to see you. You're from Versus Battles, aren't you? I'll just take care of this one real fast. There's shouldn't be wrong. It's awake. All right, so we're just gonna do this ourselves. No reason to bring in anyone else. We got three top tier villains. Well, 2 top tier villains and Kefka, I guess. Kyle making fun of my book's grammar. I'll show him. I'll show them all. All right, so this is like I just want to test this out here real fast. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna break. I mean, it's not like Earl's gonna care. I think Earl kind of is aware of where he belongs, and like most versus Battle Wiki, that's on versus Battle Wiki. That being said, if he does stop by, I'd be more than happy to talk to the guy. I'm actually nowhere near as fucking. Okay, so this one I'm kind of this one. Okay, so I think what I need to do. Okay, so let's bust up the hush, okay? I bet it's fucking, dude. I bet you guys are just downplaying V some more. That's all you guys. That's all you guys ever do is downplay V. You guys aren't giving V's due You guys aren't giving V's due diligence. You guys are over here like, oh, V's town level or something. Fucking downplayers, honestly. This is the problem about V. So that would only be V by the end of DMC5 or during the events of DMC5, potentially. The problem is that V is not town level. You're absolutely right. V is universal level plus, right, Afedi? You're going to accept that a sealed nightmare is universal level plus bare minimum. So you're going to accept that V bare minimum is universal level plus, right, Afedi? Right? You wouldn't fucking be a hypocrite now, would you? Good boy. Good boy. I'm glad you were able to see reason. I'm glad Mangler most likely talked some sense to you. Why are there 2 magic chasms? What the fuck? That's only that's only God Emperor of Bloody Palace V. Come on, don't you fucking play your games here. Okay, hang on. This is a magic chasm. Do we have one where we just have one person? Perfect. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring in Kefka for this one. I mean, we can bring in actually no, let's bring in her. We haven't used her in a while. V is not universal, it's pure wink. Clearly someone didn't watch my God Emperor of the Bloody Palace stream or video. You rused me. I don't know if this one actually revives or not, so let's find out. Still alive. Alright, let's shoot it again. Yeah, it revives. Alright, we're gonna have to shoot it again some more. Oh no, is it gonna try and hit me? Oh, that's so sad. Damn. Oh, cool, we got the EX up. I didn't do we get this for. Tier 0 is not a mid, ladies and gentlemen. I have seen it. No, Mangler's at work right now, unfortunately. Unfortunately, all my coworkers have jobs on the weekday. Well, now that we have Emperor's action... Oh, Biz Hunter. I got Emperor's LD and Kefka's full kit. Moving on. Actually, you know what? Let's go. Oh, thought we had the fucking option to change already. Oh, no. I have to click the fucking mission first. Yep, Emperor's LD just came out today. Which one was I on? Was I on Rising or... Nope, I was on the first one. Okay. Let's go ahead and get let's go ahead and bring on Emperor. Why not? Where is he? Yep, there he is. Yep, there's the LD. There's the LD weapon right there. Got out my first free multi-pool. Beautiful. I was gonna throw some tickets at it, but I'm saving all my crystals for Gladio next month. So, man, I haven't been playing this game all that much though. I've only been doing my free multi-pools and that's it. Actually, I think Cyber would most likely support most of fucking Warhammer's game, most of Warhammer's actual scaling, ironically enough. The real problem I think with Emperor is that even with the HP++, you have to be fighting the boss to really make him shine. Cyber wants to nerf the Emperor of Mankind? Not alright. Not sure how, but okay. Let's see if we can actually fucking use the HP++ here. Just once. Oh, it follows it up. That's pretty good. And he's dead. Beautiful. Honestly, the only reason that HP+++ is so fucking good is because it doesn't trigger the trap. If it triggered the trap, he would still be kind of like meh. Don't you have to include the warp to get the God Emperor the 1A? Because he like can basically fuck the warp and the gods within it. I can't tell if this hunter's saying yes to what I just asked or yes to something else. Let's finish this off with Arden and the skin. No, so this is where things get a little more complicated. According to the Horus Heresy, and I hate that I fucking know this because I'm not a big fan of Warhammer in general. Apparently fucking, the God Emperor of Mankind would have been 1A to begin with because he straight up basically told the gods of the warp to fuck off. And they couldn't do anything to the God Emperor of Mankind. Even when Horus was killed and destroyed brutally by the God Emperor, none of the gods could actually fix him prior to the God Emperor of Mankind being crippled. Again, I hate that I know that. What the fuck is this fucker trying to do? So you challenge me. I accept your challenge. And before Horus clone, I don't know much of Warhammer's lore, so like all you've heard me say is all I know. I don't even know what the fuck DT means. Well, for Warhammer anyway. As you see, I am doing this. So it was always 1A. He has to be. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense why the gods of the warp couldn't fix Horus after his heresy. Oh. Oh, the ritual Tyrion. Thank you. Hmm. I'm not the. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of this Arden skin, but it's still a clean skin because you know it's Arden. Because Arden's pretty clean. I just kind of wish they would have changed the color of the effects for the skin. I don't think you can scale. The precursors will only be universal via technology, and I don't think you can scale anyone to their technology per se. You could argue with precursor technology they might be universal. From what I have not. I dropped Halo's actual story hard for a while, so I have not picked up the books to read it. So unfortunately, I cannot give you a full direct answer. Who has seen Oryx and Unicron? I don't know how. Let me just ask my chat on Discord. See if anyone. See if anyone is willing to answer that question. I think it's the. I think it's how. I think it's because they're platonic concepts. I think that's what makes them. I think that's what makes them 1A. All right. So normally we bring in someone else, but Arden can't die, so I don't need anyone else. Imagine thinking there's an actual threat to me when I can't die. Imagine. If you guys couldn't realize that, Arden is probably one of my favorite characters for this game. Just because like watch this. This right here is about to be fucking. This is already a super easy mission because it's so low, but this right here just made it easy street. You know, I could probably solo like all the challenges up to like 100 with just Arden. Another warp strike. Oh no, oh no, I really hope they don't HP attack me. Whatever will I do? Oh. That's probably the reason for being honest. Oh, we already killed them both. Who could have get? You guys there? Can you guys hear me just fine? Can you guys hear me? Fuck. Okay, straight up, I'm having some error. Okay, hang on a minute, guys. Hang on a minute. Connection's a little better, but I'm gonna try and find my Wi-Fi password real fast, so that way I can just sign into the Wi-Fi. Because for some reason it's always the LAN connection that has the problem. Okay, so currently I'm connected with a currently I'm connected with both the LAN wire and Wi-Fi right now. So if for whatever reason my LAN wire disconnects, it should just go straight to Wi-Fi. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, well, we've put this off long enough. Let's go into versus battle again then, shall we, boys? In the meantime, I'll be able to do some Star Wars right now. Oh boy! Oh, it's been a while since we've been back here. Glad to see the place hasn't changed. That's better. Okay, well shit. Hang on a minute. Oh, it's gross. Don't be gross. Oh, it's gonna be fucking gross, isn't it? Oh, why is it always like this? Oh, it's so fucking gross. I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, so this is where I don't get it. Hang on. Move. Add source. Window capture. Oh my goodness. Alright, I'm over here checking Discord server to make sure everyone seems good to go. Alright. Let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and move my face up here for now, because unfortunately, the thread itself is going to be a little interesting. Okay, we got 3 pages, a lot of feats, a lot of responses. Already saw a couple of faces. Can't wait to get into this. It's going to be great. Jen, or Fetty, you gonna... I don't see you in a general chat. Where you at, buddy? Okay, so right off the bat, Fetty, you gotta join the general chat, and then I can just drag you in over here. I'm gonna pop out the chat for this one because I would like to see you guys in real time, so to speak. Perfect. Now I just need a Fetty. Alright. I think we're ready to go. Perfect. Okay, so hello, Fetty.
Hello.
Yep. Hello.
How are you doing?
Good, yourself?
I did good.
Alright.
Doing good.
Good to hear. So let's see what the actual complaints are, and let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, number one, the high hypersonic plus feat done by Mr. Bambi. What the fuck is that?
He's really dodging Trish's right train.
Trish's lightning?
In the anime. Yeah.
Okay, is that from the anime or?
Yes, anime.
Okay. So let me go ahead and read what he said, and let's also go ahead and just pop that open real fast, just to show it. Okay, so this is the lady feat in question. Already went to World Mingler on that one, so we'll save that for another day. This is the one I feel is most correct out of all the feats. Oh, that's ironic. That's ironic. Wait, did something happen? No, it should be fine. It is fairly straight to the point as a calc. My only issue is why do we consider it real lightning? From what was said in the blog, this was used as justification. It is required to show that electricity carries an energy of at least 5 million joules or volts around 1 million in order to qualify. And well, I'm not sure whether this is really okay because that would mean any electricity attack that can hurt an AC or above can be considered real lightning. I mean, yeah, shouldn't that work out just fine?
That's the standard. When you to manage to know if it's Nightwing or not, we can always TP is HC. If the doors move in metallic places, doors are going to fight the muscles. And doors, it each doors that. The problem is he decided to let this nerf to go on because it was basically denying Twitch's Nightwing. Basically that.
Ah, okay. But I'll go ahead and just finish reading it.
Ah,
Be-
go on.
because we're scaling the energy of electricity to its speed, which to me, okay, because I mean, because we're scaling the energy of electricity to its speed, which to me sounds the same as scaling a fire attack's temperature from its energy, or scaling a person's AP from his speed. It just feels weird at best. So this is more a point for discussion for members. If we decide that the reasoning is sound, then I am personally fine with this calc. Hang on. Yeah, Fetty, I can understand you for the most part.
Ah, good.
I played the guy who made this thread didn't recall any Lightning Fiend DMC. Dude clearly was familiar with the verser. Well, hang on, guys. No
That's a lie.
spoilers. No spoilers. It's versus Battle Wiki. I don't expect them to know anything. Okay, so Dante dodges Navon's lightning. Feat number 2. This feat, if you can even call that, does not exist. Oh, okay. The wording is misleading enough to seem acceptable. However, Navon never uses lightning attacks against Dante, or at least not as one would assume from the wording. What Navon does with lightning is create this form of obstacle course by having the bats create electricity, or she just has groups of bats create a bolt of electricity and then the bats fly at you. Okay, the boss patterns. Okay, fair. So the key part of all of this is the bats create the electricity, then they fly at you. That's entirely wrong. Saying that this is the same as dodging lightning is like to saying that if a couple of guards run at you with tasers and then if you can escape them, you dodge lightning. Nowhere near the same thing, buddy. Nowhere near the same thing. You can see the issues here. The last form of electricity attack Navon does is launching electricity high, then attacking the ground with it. But this has a lot of gameplay hints that tell you when lightning is about to strike. One of them being the ground having electricity visuals when the attack's about to happen, so it obviously doesn't scale. I disagree here with this one a lot, but I'll go ahead. But first, I'll just disagree with the basic shit on the table, and then work our way from there. The bats are created alongside the lightning, and as a result, will be created probably with the lightning as well. They most likely would scale to the same thing they're created by, since anytime you use Navon, bats and lightning come hand in hand. Like, you don't just get lightning with the weapon, you get bats and lightning in almost every single attack, regardless of how you use it. So, nowhere near the same thing as tasers and stuff, but this is versus Battle Wiki. They always try and make it seem less impressive than it actually is. Regarding the gameplay hints of the attack coming, that doesn't work, because that's there for the players as ourselves to know the attack is coming. No attack gives you warning in real life. Otherwise, they would never use the attack. That would be a stupid attack. You have to understand that some gameplay things are just for the player to not get fucked. Again, Red Dusk is right here. The attack gives you a warning because of gameplay balance. Absolutely correct. This is not an accurate thing to scale here. And I suspect someone will do an argument for this. So, let's see.
Anzi,
What?
given those have 2 attacks that goes from cloud to the ground. It's basically Nightwing. Ignore those 2 attacks. So Air is basically lying about it, bottom even.
Alright. Okay, Dante Royal Guards and dodges the damned Rook. Oh,
Shit.
this is gonna be fun. This is gonna
That's
be fun.
fucking. That's a hell of a argument. At this point, he got back and forth every time, and he denied the fucking description of the game. The MC4 says you block at the last fucking second. He basically denied that.
Oh, very, very clearly that. So was that the most debated thing on this Discord?
Yes. Everybody got all their points. No, everybody's going to talk about the fucking laser.
Okay, so let's see here. Let's see what we got on the table. But the lightning isn't real lightning. War from Dark Stars can whoop Dante in the battle. Change my mind. I'll wait for Kyle to be here to do that one.
No, it's not mine.
Okay, so oh boy, the issues I have with this one. First of all, this is using gameplay laser, and don't really expect the game developer to make a hitbox for laser extendable at the same speed as that of light. Let's be real. Okay, a little curious that he's willing to accept gameplay here, but he's not willing to acknowledge gameplay for the things above. But all right, let's continue. The Rook's laser doesn't have an expanding hitbox at all. But let's look past that one for a moment. What do you mean for a moment? Either game... Whatever. Let's look at the fee itself, because who knows, it might be legit. I love that false sort of, like, fucking, that false objectivity he's just pouring out there.
Exactly.
Really fucking, oh yeah, well hang on, let's give it a fair shakedown. Yeah, alright buddy. Okay, because, so Dante, Tony in this case, what do you mean Tony? It's Dante by this point. He goes by Dante by this point.
No, Tony is the guy who did
Oh, the cow?
yeah, no, screenshots the whole guard feature.
Okay.
He recorded the gameplay to be able to calc.
Alright. Uses Royal Guard. A version of guard that has to be timed with the opponent's attack, basically a parry. Oh, he basically just gave himself away right there. Seems fair enough till here. But let me explain the pick from the linked video on the blog here. Dante manages to Royal Guard the Rook's laser, but when you slow the video down, you can clearly see Dante's already in the blocked position before the laser's even started, which means it simply does not scale. Dante does not outpace the laser. He outpaces the Rook's movement speed. I think this is a pretty straightforward explanation for why it doesn't scale. No. That's entirely false, because the way Royal Guard works is you block the attack at the last possible second, or it's a parry. And again, this is the problem when you have to bring up gameplay here, because you're arguing for things designed for people or people's reactions versus what the in-universe would do. Royal Guard, as Freddy pointed out, DMC4 statement and DMC5 statement for the perfect Royal Guard.
4. DMC4.
5 also has a similar statement. I went to 5 to check it myself.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Straight up says you have to basically block it at the last possible moment. So in gameplay, that might be a little more leeway for us, but it wouldn't lore-wise for Dante. He would have to block it at the last possible second, or he doesn't get the full effect. And you would always assume a character uses their ability at its peak actual form, unless otherwise stated or shown. Okay.
Exactly.
As for some part, the dodge, I have similar to this, but the one thing to note here is that jumping and dodging typically have iframes, which means that you can't be hit during a certain period of dodge/jump. With that in mind, let's look at this feature out. The timestamp that said the blog has a very weird camera angle, so I will just screenshot it, but I also explain it with examples with good camera angles. So here's Dante jumping away from the beam, but as you can see, Dante's already initiated his jump before laser started again. I know that the first argument that pop up is, well, how can you prove he was already out of the laser's way at that point? Well, the thing is, I do not need to prove it. No, that's not correct, because as long as the jump has started, everything else no, because this happens if you get hit during the start of the jump. In those screenshots, he clearly Dante being hit in the face by a laser, but since he started the jump in the one screenshot and is in the first moment... Okay, so he's arguing for the idea that because there are iframes, none of those feats work as a whole, but that's not exactly how things work here, because it's still faster. It's supposed to be light speed, so even if you can jump a little bit and get out of its way, you're still getting out of the laser. And again, this is based on people's inputs, which could be, well, based on gameplay, wrong there. Well, I mean, people in those sites feel the Emperor to be galaxy level. Gross. So that kind of sells why that feature just does not work, even if we disagreed the whole hitbox is part of game mechanics issue. Wait. So why does the hitbox get a game mechanics pass, but why doesn't, like, iframes and shit get game mechanics pass?
I have no idea.
Alright, let's take
But there is that thing, Zim. When you dodge, if you dodge perfectly, you gain TP bar, David Trigger bar. So that's our counters you Sergeant.
Alright, let's take a look at this. Now, my main issue with the calc is the line right here. Now, using the annualized calculator, get the distance of 4.256 seconds, man, Dante would be about 2.77 meters away from Mundus. Excuse me, what in the world of calculation is this distance? 2.7 meters from Dante's head to Dante's head? There's just no way. I have no idea where the fault is here, but this is very bad. And while I know that the first thought that comes to mind is, well, it's to redo the calc, there's another issue, but this time with the fee itself. Despite the fact that the cutscene shows Mundus setting the beam before Dante turning his head, the thing is, those happen at the same time, because as you can see here, the beam had not even been sent when Dante was looking at Mundus, so this means that Dante never even reacted to it. So to include this point, we have two very big issues with this calc. as it currently stands. So this fee at the most ain't the most valid one, and that brings us to the last fee I want to talk about. Okay, well, this is referring to when Dante blocks the sort of like particle beam, quote unquote, attack from Mundus, right?
Yes, yes. É, tá moment. Mundus kills Thresh and Dante is like pissed off and looks at the exact moment Mundus fires the beam and basically redirects
Alright,
to other point.
so let's see here. Okay, so he's got some screenshots. So apparently the beam hadn't fired yet, but he still has to put up the shield. That bare minimum would have to be something, assuming assume it's passive.
But there's the thing, I checked the feature again. For some weird reason, the beam is there, but for some reason stop mid-air. It's not moving mid-air for some reason.
More likely than not, the actual guys who did the cutscene itself just either forgot about it or forgot to move it at the correct time.
It's an neighborhood game, so it's likely to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I were the open cut, you can see Mundo's entire head. You can see Mundo's entire head if you check the scan again. So how I prove Mundo's gente fire or not?
Alright, so last one is Dante and Mundus do the big leap. Okay. Again, I want to point out on the channel here, we don't even scale DMC this low. This is nowhere near where we would scale DMC. So a little more objectively, I can talk about this one. I love how there's a fucking straight up just a Warhammer discussion in the comment section.
40 is infinite speed scene. Get over it.
Oh, sweet. Alright, cool. Because we have like 5 of them. Alright. So what are my issues with this feat, you may rightfully ask? And my answer would be, why do we have a feat that has an assumed starting point, an assuming finishing point, and an assumed time frame that leads to a result of 813 to 2044 times faster than light, when their best feat otherwise clocks at high hypersonic or subrail at most? Okay.
This calc. The problem of this calc is time frame, because you don't have time frame. There's a time frame skip, like Cyber told us. He told them 2 days ago. Told us you can calc time frame.
This calc is made up of only assumptions, but these ain't just good old assumptions. These are massive assumptions that lead to a very outlierish result that nothing else in the entire series ever tops or even comes remotely close to. This feat gets a massive no for me in all directions. This calc has nothing going for it.
What's the deal?
So just to clarify, the argument here is the following. We can't confirm it moves at lightning speed just because it shares the same amount of energy. Navon's lightning isn't real lightning because it has bats attached with it, and because there's a gameplay thing that's supposed to help the player and will most likely not exist in the game itself. The Rook situation, which again you could just argue for as player issues and stuff of that nature, and even arguing for more gameplay issues like iframes and stuff to negate it. The fourth one is just potentially that Dante didn't have to turn around when Mundus fired the beam, even though we see the beam fire prior to Dante turning his head, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Which you can just argue here. You can just argue here that like is because they forgot to put it up there very easily. You can argue DMC2 was made in 4 months. The series doesn't have the best when it comes to development. And number 5 is just pure assumptions, according to him. And to be fair, number 5 is correct to an extent. Absolutely. Most of the assumptions versus Battlewiki uses for the big leap are based off an assumption that I don't fully understand where they got it from. Well, I understand where it comes from. Hang on, let me see if Neil wants to join.
The interstellar space where moons in Dante is correct, but the rest is assumptions. Who is going to join us? Oh, Neil is here! That's going to be fucking great. No, Neil is here.
No, Neil's not here yet. I'm just asking. I'm just asking if he wants to. I'm just asking if he wants to stop on by here. Because maybe Neil could provide some input here regarding some of this stuff.
I'd love to hear Neil talking about versus battle.
We'll give Neil a second to come in before I start looking through everything.
Everything. Going to love the comment section. We're going to love it.
Alright. Looks like he's probably busy with something else right now. So let's go and take a look at this, and let's go and get started.
Look at the timing. The fucking timing. You just paused the thread and there's mods there already. The fucking timing.
All right,
Jesus.
so let's go ahead and get started here. So right off the bat, weekly battles. Weekly. I'm still pissed about the League of Legends shit. Still pissed.
Look at the fucking timing. Jesus. Nobody knows who did the thread that is weeklies there.
So, okay, I can't see timestamps specifically right now, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, but like it's 3 minutes. A weeklies there already.
20. So it took 20 minutes for them to get there.
Eu posso situar 3 minutes past 3 minutes equally comments here saying angry.
Well,
3 minutes.
well, hang on a
It's
minute.
basically
Doesn't the way this site works, and I'm just trying to be as fair as possible here, even though I know this is complete bullshit, but don't you have to ask people to come in and discuss shit on your on your thing? Like, don't you go to people and be like, hey, can you come mention something here? Can you start, like, can you look at this?
yes, it should. Okay, if you agree, please comment fine. I agree to this guy's point because, by common sense,
No, I
you
mean,
can
it's
say the guy
certainly...
reads the entire point.
Alright.
Certainly. Just the timing is a little oddly.
Oh, yeah, the timing's definitely a little weird there. Are you guys still there, or is my stream lagging? Because I see your guys' horse discussion seems to have stopped.
That's just me using.
That's fine.
Me Unity versus Battle is like guy.
Alright. So let's go and I'm gonna go and start reading the actual, responses, start going over it, and see what we get started with. Alright, so looks alright to me. What about the first point? Do you think if it has AP, it can be considered real lightning as a good argument? Seems fine. I do find it weird we consider Navon to be real lightning because nothing really supports it. Besides it being something sometimes called lightning blast or something on the Devil R attack descriptions, but also calls it electricity other times as well, so that shouldn't be used as proof as it qualifies as cloud to ground lightning speed unless there's some other reasons I'm missing. Actually, it's not even about Navon. The first point is about Trish's electricity attacks. And I am just going off of the blog there, and there was nothing in the blog besides what I quoted to prove lightning. Hang on,
TP confirms that. Twitch healing like and Lightwing confirms that. Ah, here's him. Don't worry about it.
Nice. Just wanted to confirm the chat's still there.
Ooh, who is that?
Oh, that's 6 4. I just wanted to make sure the chat was fine, because sometimes when I pop it out, it gets a little laggy. Okay, and is that my good friend? Is that my good friend Matthew? Oh, Matthew!
Yes!
Matthew, you're welcome back, my friend. Earl just takes speed. All right, so we have someone here. All right, agree with Earl. Okay, so I gotta be honest here for a minute. Does Matthew even ever have to actually fucking agree with the downgrade? Shouldn't he just already be put? They should already just put his vote for accepting the downgrade at this point. So unfortunately, right off the bat, I do have to feel a little bad because Matthew has a big stigma about DMC. Like even if he wants to claim he's not against the verse, he is. Even if he wants to claim otherwise, that's a massive stigma behind him. I think Matthew himself should realize that to some extent and should at least hold off on a thread because Matthew, we already know you're going to accept the downgrade. So, I don't think anyone was really there thinking to themselves, "Oh shit, is Matt going to accept the fucking downgrade?"
Exactly.
Not your best play there, Matthew, but you know what? Kudos to you. Okay. So we have someone here with what looks like a red foreman thing. Until I can clearly shift.
He's a good guy. I know this guy. I know he's a good guy.
All right, I'll be sure to try not to shit on him as hard because you said so. Okay, so until I can clearly shift through everything presented here, I'm neutral on this. We'll give a definitive answer once I'm finished looking it all over. Okay, then why the fuck did you say something? If all you're saying is, dude, you're not even a fucking staff member. You don't have to say shit. I guess it gets traction going, maybe. I mean, electricity conducts through metal, so that's not a reason at all. And the AP is also really bad for justification, considering Lightning's AP doesn't actually hit you with 8C AP. The energy you actually tank is nowhere close to that. The reason 5 million joules or voltage around 100 million volts is required is if it's specifically specified, not scaling to durability, considering so that would actually disprove it being real lightning instead. Well, I mean, right off the bat, we're talking about demons here who do have different properties than normal stuff. Pimp, what would you say? All
But
right, yo, Warden,
no.
Saints Row 4 versus Blitz. Blitz will win. Everyone's busy doing. We'll come back later. Okay, so we have Dio Namonte. I actually remember this guy a little bit, but I don't
Yeah,
remember what he was about. So let's see how it goes.
Diego can correctly show the scam about Universal DMC way back, way back, 3 years ago. If
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
pretty good.
mistaken,
That long ago, huh? All right, let's go ahead
a
and get
few
into
years
this.
ago.
I'm not sure about this calc. Seems outdated. So I agree, unless the person who did it explains their reasoning. So that's about the Trish one. The second calc is from a cloud. The ground lightning attack Navan performs in the fight, which has all the properties of real lightning, as her lightning manifests from purple clouds. Also, Navan's combat adjudicator states her lightning comes from the sky. I don't remember the combat adjudicator statement too well, but me, Balrog, and Mangler are now going through the entirety of the DMC series to collect every single feat and every single statement for power scaling. So we're hopefully I'll be able to create a full document or maybe even a wiki page or something to fucking like chronologue up to get all that. So let's go take a look at the attack here. Never mind.
Uh,
I don't want a copyright strike. Also, hello, Ryan.
imagine getting corporate strike.
Hello.
I agree. So the third one agreeing on is based on the fact that he's agreeing with the idea that Dante should not scale to the laser of the Rook. For the angleizing issue should be fixed. If there is an issue, I don't do calcs, I don't know. Correction, Dante did react to the beam after it was fired. Slow it down and see it properly. The view from your screenshots even shows the beam after a couple of feet away from Munus' third eye, which is what produced the beam. I agree the calc never felt right to me, but I do understand the logic. Yeah, but Dante never reacts to it. This is a very clear game mechanic showing when lightning is going to strike. Even if we somehow count that would still mean Dante's a minimum 1,000 times slower than lightning, so around supersonic, I don't think, I'm not too sure. 4, actually, you can see that has been launched from the second and third screen. The first scan, there's nothing, just Moon's glowing forehead. 2, Royal Guard is entirely reaction-based. If Dante the player didn't use Royal Guard at the perfect time, he would have been damaged, and those loud bangs as the lightning hits Dante while using Royal Guard would not play it out. If the game devs wanted to be unblockable or too fast for Dante, they would have made it so. He does have a feat of reacting to sea ground to cloud lightning from Griffin and DMC5. And a cutscene, he and Nero fodder demons that are essentially living cloud to ground lightning. Yes, if you look at the cutscene of the senior screenshot, you see the beam suddenly appear a couple of feet from Mundus' third eye without coming from it, as if it's already discharged in the couple. That's with the close-up shot of the beam releasing Mundus' straight beam, his second beam before, and the pan pill view shot of the beam moving towards Dante, who turns to look at it. It is clear what the cutscene is trying to display. Also, Ryan, we're going over a DMC speed downgrade.
Yeah, I know. Just joining in to laugh at the stupidity of the versus battles wiki.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Oh, hang on a minute. I think I can actually beat this team. Sorry, one second, guys. I'm also doing some arena shots over here in Galaxy of Heroes. He got a bad screenshot. You can see here the beam wasn't fired. That's where you're wrong, kid. Oh, we got fucking. Never mind. Well, we got fucking destroyed. Good lord, I really need to sit down and fucking gear up my characters. All right, back to the thread.
I'm back.
All right, you got a click to expand. Yeah, I saw it, but if you look at the cutscene that I have linked above and slow it down, the beam appears out thin air, feet from Unis's head and already discharged. 4, Dante did react after it got fired, slow the video down to 0.25. And you can clearly see Dante reacting to it after it got fired. You can also see Moon's forehead still glowing after it got fired. When Dante reacts, Moon's forehead stops glowing, which indicates his reaction was after it was fired. That screenshot is misleading because the light from his forehead can also overlap with the beam itself. 5, these high assumptions are made because they're most likely in interstellar space, since they're not at any point in the cutscene when you see any dominant sun or star. And the time can also be assumed as Dante Moon's didn't take eternity to get to their planet. No, it's not an outlier since it doesn't break any scaling chains, nor does it appear to be inconsistent. Dante doesn't seem to get blitzed by anything when he's fighting, and most of the time he's just joking and mocking his enemies as he fights, not taking them seriously at all. Again, what is a good counter argument? I still don't really understand the whole planet fucking scaling thing to, justify the speed of faster than light. I do understand logic behind it, but it was always kind of weird to me that that's what they used to scale it.
What?
What do you mean? It click comes out his forehead to the screenshot approved. You can scan it. I saw again the scene of the light beam of Moonus is poorly written. We see Moonus launch his beam before Dante moves his head. Okay, so apparently people are showing up to actually defend the light speed thing. No, you see the white
Yes.
dot particles that remain a little after the beam is shot. Can you see it where? Can you provide a screenshot? It's really vague what you're saying. Can you provide a screenshot when a guy literally provided the actual video? Funnily enough, Kratos is like the only guy who actually posted the fight, so everyone just goes to Kratos' video for the skin.
Hey, so you want to get copyright?
The OP looks reasonable to me. Ah,
E
Dark Dragon here it
DDM.
is. Good to see you as well.
DDM is a yes man. Yes man. It's also in PC. If you say something, oh yes, I do.
Oh, and it's like my Matthew. Matthew, you really need to, like, you understand, even if you have a really bad stigma on this verse in terms of DMC, you really should play your cards a little closer to your chest.
Yes.
Okay. Royal Guard is entirely reaction-based. If Dante, the player, didn't use Royal Guard at perfect time, you will limit damage. You'd have to be fast enough in frames, not fast enough in speed. And you run into similar problem as the Rook's laser. He puts up his guard before we see lightning moving towards him. He's trying to say that the moon is fired his forehead. Okay, hang on a minute. It's still glowing. When Dante reacts, Moon's forehead was fading. That indicates the beam was fired before Dante reacted. You can clearly see in the cutscene. Except that's personal points though. He fires the beam 2 times. Both times the same things. Moon's forehead glows. Beam shoots. Screenshot. Moon's forehead glows. About the whole Moon's thing, the hole you see it appear a few feet away from his face. That seems most likely like a graphics thing, considering the beam only gets larger from there. It would keep the same length if it already fired. Slow this down as much as possible, and you will see the beam appears out of thin air a few feet away from the white particles above Moose's head. Earl's screenshots are good, but the video shows how the beam appears. You'd have to be fast enough in frames. Yes, I am speaking for frames. Dante would have had to use the Royal Guard technique perfectly in order to not receive any damage, as it is a block move that is an actual ability Dante has, not an iframe that is exploited. Earl asked me to post this. Dante pulling up his guard before the beam appeared. Okay, hang on a minute. Again, post the screenshots. I literally posted this scene 2 times for our frame. What you're saying is really showing one of the scenes. As you can see, when pick above Diamante, Dante already has his guard up. There is no lightning movement going on, so it clearly doesn't scale. And in frames, you forgot S. I mentioned the OP laser lightning usually doesn't have expanding hitboxes, so from start to finish, for lightning, it would be a single frame. That's not even tackling the issue that we were made. How did she summon Cloud the Ground Lightning there? Wait. How did she summon Cloud the Ground Lightning in there? Because she's a lightning demon? Has the power to use lightning?
Maybe.
It's entirely possible. It's a crazy idea.
Yeah.
But maybe the person who can control lightning can summon lightning. I think we might be on something there, but we'll get back to you guys on that one. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I can sort of understand the idea of what he's trying to argue for, but he phrased that entirely stupidly. No, because the cutscene shows that the white particles remain after the beam is fired on his head. Slowly view down as Mundus during the shot, where Mundus shoots the beam before Dante turns his head. Okay, so they're willing to argue for graphics there, but they're not willing to argue for like any issues here when we see the beam fire prior to this scene. And if the illustrations are provided, you'll see that the beam leaves his forehead after Dante uses it. Let's go right here. Earl asks if Dante putting his ground up. That isn't Dante putting up his guard before the beam appears. That is Dante putting his guard up right as the attack reaches him. That's why Dante changes directions immediately, because Royal Guard changes directions to where the attack technically is according to code. This should show what I'm talking about. Oh, gross. Imagine debating for gameplay gameplay coding and shit for power scaling. Gross. Oh, what the fuck am I looking at? This shouldn't be allowed. What is this? How long do we get DMC back to where it belongs? Never. They've never had it where it belongs, so why would you assume they bring it back to where it belongs? I've looked at your screenshots already and I'm really convinced. I hope this clears things up. Ed, the first one was supposed to be the last in order, so I screwed up. Except the beam is not there on the second set of screenshots. It appears after Moose charges up, mirroring the first set of screenshots. The white glow on his forehead is there before and after. First set of screenshots, Moose charges forehead, beam is fired, white glow is still there. Second set of screenshots, Moose charges forehead, beam is fired, white glow is still there. I fail to see how this proves anything what you're saying. I literally gave you a screenshot showing that the particles remain after Moon shoots the beam, and you saw a screenshot showing that the beam isn't coming from Moon's head as it completely appears out the air a few feet in front of him, put two together. Moon's charges with white glow and intensifies when the beam is about to be shot. Beam fired. White glow remains but is dim while beam is fired off and going. Jump cut to Dante turning his head with red eyes. Jump cut to the shot behind Dante showing his head already turned before the beam hits him. White glow is still on Moon's head, isn't glowing or intensifies, showing that the beam didn't fire in that cutscene shot. Beam is nowhere to be found. Beam appears feet out in front of Moon is already discharged from his head rushing Dante. Amazing.
Amazing.
I mean, he has good reasoning. If I didn't care about getting copyright striked, I would actually fucking show it you guys myself. But like, I don't want to fucking get into that shit. Okay, but the attack hasn't reached me, and we see no lighting on the screen. Even though Dante's already in position, it doesn't move from that point forward. At Diamante said, "You debunk yourself with the last 3 points. The beam was leaving the forehead when the frame happened. Why would the beam be missing if it was already in the air?" Okay, you guys argued for limitations of the game. Literally, not even a couple seconds ago.
Yep. Weird.
That seems also like a graphics thing, considering the beam only gets larger from there. It would. So he's linking the fact that graphics could be limiting it, but that doesn't occur for a frame over here. Well, hang on. I wouldn't want to misquote him. Yeah, no. So they're arguing for graphics and limitations of the console for them, and then when someone brings up actual reasonability based on what the cutscene shows, that it can also be supported, he could easily just argue for graphics against that idea, and it would just be just as valid.
Yep. It's weird. He brings up that, and I'm going to ignore the feature, even it's valid. Anyway. Hey, me! It's me!
It's you.
Yeah, it's me.
Alright, let's see what Fetty has to say about this.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to see. Since now I got time, I'm going to tackle points 2 and 3. Point 2, for some reason you didn't tell the viewers or told the viewers of this thread that Navon does summon lightning from the ceiling to the ground, similar to the cloud to ground lightning, and she also does summon a huge and powerful lightning when striking the ground. The entire room gets electrified with a huge white flash like lightning does when hitting the ground. Why is this relevant? Because the moment the room gets electrified, it happens on the same moment as the lightning when hitting the ground, making the entire floor electrified, and you can pretty much time the attack with Royal Guard, so it is still a feat nonetheless. You're also forgetting a demon named Blitz and Trish, so I don't want to attack the pointing fingers at anyone, but it appears we ain't being honest here about Navon. He has already been the block position is relevant. Time Royal Guard isn't point blank. The only thing you got is the scans not doing justice to the feat, and also the people who did the count can even redo it. The results are going to be different since the damn thing is point blank and everybody scales to it. As bonus, I'm going to say things about point 5. That's very common in fiction. Only scales to God tier, and DMC makes very clear why they outscale and outclass everyone in the series, and also why Dante outclasses and scales every single God tiers aside from Virgil. Alright, Fetty, you live for now.
DJ do good?
Yeah, no. I mean, again, it's fine. Like the problem with I would pull up to the Vaughn boss fight and talk about it in more detail, but I don't want to fucking watch someone else's video. Mangler, me, and Kyle are already gonna go through the series to grab all the scans and shit, so we'll be able to do that going forward. No one too much. They have cloud to ground lightning feats and cutscenes that are in gameplay. See right here at 326 for Trish's feat. All right, so Trish's feat. I'm not gonna get in that right now. Yes, the lightning reached him. That's why the game registered it as a block. And you see Dante just block Titan as the bolt hits. Those 3 bangs you hear are Dante blocking 3 lightning strikes quick succession by perfectly pressing the Royal Guard button 3 times. Amazing. Amazing how they're so capable of fucking talking about fucking gameplay mechanics and shit, but when lore and stuff pops up, they just basically fucking disappear into the wind. Amazing.
Exactly. Well, then
About that Mundus thing, the hole, it appears few feet. I would say the white particle beams remaining are the graphical glitch, as the cutscene shows the beam was already discharged, and so the beam appearing off thin air is to show that the beam was discharged. Good. Use their argument against them. Good. Because this argument is entirely fucking stupid, and it can be used on both ends. You debunk yourself with the last 2 points. The beam was leaving the forehead when the frame happened. Why would the beam be missing if it was already in the air? No, because the cutscenes primarily show the beam was already fired, and the beam not shooting from Mundus' head instead. Appearing in midair proves the intent of the cutscene to show Dante reacting to the beam. I love how they say intent of the cutscenes, like fucking Itsuno gave a fuck, or not Itsuno, like Kamiya gave a fuck about any of this.
No, isso reminds me something. If weekly, in second page, you argue against that, saying, no, Kamiya's a troll, so he could say unreliable to Arthur's. I'm not joking.
Yikes. Oh, fuck me, it's here, it's an Australian.
Boys!
Just for the record, Balrog, we're roasting the Versus Battles Wiki's speed downgrade.
Yes.
I'd say we're talking about right now. There hasn't been anything too directly bad to roast yet. Again, I don't agree with most of Versus Battle Wiki's feeds.
Now.
I see DMC far higher. Oh.
I'm not an evil person, but I love to shit on people. What have they got?
Okay, so
Who don't?
the five feats they're trying to downgrade. These are the 5 feats except on versus Battle Wiki. Obviously, we scaled DMC higher. Don't think I need to repeat that one, but basically, they're trying to argue that Trish potentially doesn't have lightning speed, that Navon doesn't have lightning speed, that Dante can't react to the Rook with Royal Guard correctly enough to scale to FTL, and that both of the Mundus feats for speed, being the light beam he fires and the flying feat, are invalid. I'm only a little okay with number 5 because that's an assumption, but I mean, they're still way faster than Master, faster than Light.
Okay, 4 of those are fucking ridiculous. Especially the light beam. It's stated to be a particle beam, for fuck's sake.
Oh, Kyle, you know they don't accept lore on versus Battle Wiki.
For fuck's sake.
I shit you not, they're literally debating right now frames of Royal Guard blocking shit and gameplay limitations of the PS1 right now. That's what they're on right now.
You can't do that.
Bullshit. The versus Battle Wiki.
And with the Mundus flying one, like to begin with, before it cuts away, you literally see like stars scroll down the screen as he flies upwards. So you can't even fucking say that's that's not even valid.
Apparently they don't even use that. They're scaling it based on the idea that someone calculated that they flew to a planet of an unspecified location.
Well, if you can't specify it, you can't give a specific speed.
Well, that's what he's arguing for, that there's too many assumptions, and I kind of agree with that. While I understand why the feat's there, it was always built on assumptions we could never prove, so I never really understood how it got passed to begin with. That seemed like way too... Even for versus Battle Wiki standards, that seemed a bit too wonky.
They could still go off like the stars scrolling down the screen, which someone did calc to be massively faster than Light Plus.
Oh, I'm sure they I think I remember at one point they actually did talk about it, but they said something about it being like fucking like,
we don't know if they're actual stars.
That well, I mean that one's always there. How you know? I'm surprised that one hasn't popped up yet. A little surprised on that one, but let's continue here. Oh, hello ZX Aereo. Welcome to the stream. Okay, that's just your opinion directly contradicted with actual proof. This is referring to the Mundus light particle beam scene in the DMC cutscene. Dante reacting could might as well be dramatic effect. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Dramatic effect. What the fuck?
Okay, wait. Here's my question: the particle beam fires. Trish hops herself down from her Jesus Christ position and gets in front of Dante. How is that not faster than light?
You know, I think they just called the Trish thing an outlier, because I'm surprised no one's brought that up yet. Apparently, Kyle. Apparently, according to versus Battle Wiki, it is. Yeah, I remember that one, actually. They called it an outlier a while back. No, Zex has been here a couple of times, Ozra. He's been here. If we took it literally, the beam would have already been in his face, not leaving Mundus' face, as the proof directly shows. Unless Dante's just moving way faster in the beam. You know, but I guess that's just dramatic effect, because whenever DMC has a potential feat, it's always something other than an actual feat.
I would love if they used the same logic and the same like amount of burden of proof for all the other verses they love. Do you know how far down all the verses they love would be?
Well, hang on, where's God of War at right now? Let me just look at Kratos real fast.
Immeasurable, from what I last remembered, Immeasurable and Multiverse Plus.
Hang on. Kratos versus Battle Wiki. Speed. What's the speed at? Massively faster than light, apparently. So I guess they're a little reasonable here. But what is the scale to? Because I know a massively faster than light feat, but I also know there's no.
I know what they'll probably say. That it's from him blocking the light from Helios, but I can argue the light hit Kratos and then he put his hand up. So he didn't react to it.
Yeah, no, he did not react to Helios' beam. It hit him way beforehand. He even backs off a little bit. That can't be right.
But then they say, like, oh, he caught Hermes. He didn't catch Hermes. Hermes was injured by the time he could be able to catch him. Both of his legs were fucked.
Afedi, do you actually know why? Do you know why God of War scaled to massively faster and lighter now?
Yes, Sisters of Fate. Because the sisters, they basically fate at the same time. And the fucking universe is infinite.
Could you type the name in? Because I can't really understand the name you're saying. I'm not too familiar with God of War.
He's saying the Sisters of Fate.
The Sisters of Fate?
Yes.
What feat do the Sisters of Fate have?
Yeah, what do they have?
Okay, let me check.
Alright, Fetty, you get back to us on that one. I saw that he was skilled in the Sisters of Fate, but I thought that was based off like fucking like Apollo's or like fucking Helios' scaling of light up the underworld or something.
Not really. Not really.
What the fuck do they have? Aren't the Sisters of Fate concepts? Fuck no, they aren't. They're a bunch of actually.
No, they're not.
Okay, thank
no,
you.
No, they're not. The way, like, me and Mangler will fucking rip this shit in half if we have to. The Sisters of Fate don't control fate. They just go back in time through portals and mess with events. That's not fate manipulation. If that's fate manipulation, then Marty McFly has fate manipulation of the highest caliber.
You're not really explaining why they scared the Sisters of Fate.
So let's read the Fetty's thing. This whole Moonus particle beam, if you watch the boss fight, Moonus throws a bunch of particle beams and even a sub SOL beam. Is that speed of light beam?
Yeah, so speed of point, yeah.
Beam, and you can dodge, and also you guys skip Nightmare throwing lasers at Dante, and again, Dante can dodge, so where there is denial happening is beyond me. That's just your opinion, contradicted with actual proof. Proof. Oh, go ahead.
I know the game is. I know people don't like the game, but does no one remember the giant fucking building Dante fights in 2 that literally fires light at you?
Yes, exactly.
Apparently no one brings that up because of, well, Kyle, that's a statement. We can't take that as valid. It's not like there's a boss in DMC5 that fires light at you.
No. Instead, let's take Twitter comments from an entire verse that contradicts itself depending on who you fucking ask. But no, Kamiya is a troll.
Movie and TV superhero shows that time travel have fate manipulation of the highest caliber. Laughs in Doc Brown and Marty McFly. Okay, actual proof such as what? Your personal opinion.
That's what I said.
I know. I'm reiterating your joke. I have now assimilated your humor into myself.
Oh, I thought somebody just said that on like the comments, but I'm not on YouTube.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll let you know. Actual proof such as what? Your personal opinion that goes against what the scene is obviously tempting to show. I love the fact that these people bring the actual video to support the feat, the actual context and everything, and the people disagreeing with the feat are like, but we have screenshots that show what we want to show. Okay, but I have the actual video that shows what actually happened. How is this even an argument here? You can just slow down the video. This argument was dead the second someone stepped up and literally brought the video in supporting the feat instead of disagreeing with it. Beam fired, point of view shows the camera rushing towards Dante who turns his head, shot behind Dante showing the beam appearing. Dude, Dianamonte, this is the problem versus Battle Wiki. We literally have the actual scene in question that demonstrates exactly what he's saying. It shows the intent perfectly, but because they have a screenshot that proves their side, they're going to stick only with the screenshot because the actual video straight up disproves them.
And they wonder why people say they're fucking biased against Devil May Cry.
Yep.
No, I shit you not. If it was any other verse, they'd be like, alright, reverse it straight away.
Seems legit to me. Why was this ever even brought up? What's wrong with you?
Roll showing his bias like usual.
Let's see what we got here. Okay, Afedi, yeah, but I'm discussing with Diamante. Those aren't any good either.
I don't know.
Could they
what?
And I thought it was going to be a little different this time around, but it seems the more things change, the more they stay the same. I saw the scan used. I say the scan used are flawed and don't give a rating. If you can give me good scans, go ahead. I just gotta love the whole. Your argument is that the scans for the feet don't give a speed rating statement. Like I'm making the bad arguments here. I mean, you are. You're saying people who have lightning powers. You literally asked, how can someone with lightning powers summon lightning inside a room? Let's not pretend to ourselves here. Gold standard here, buddy.
Do they not know? Do they not know that like most characters who can make lightning don't need to be outside?
To be fair, I could have forgotten who directly said it, but someone on his side literally said, "How can they summon ground to sky? How can they summon ground to like air, like sky to ground lightning indoors?" And I'm like, "Well, they have lightning powers, so they can do that."
Look, Weather Report wants to talk to them for a second.
The entire point flew right over your head here. I already talked about Navon. As for Trish, again, you talked about Navon, but your argument for Navon not working is that the game gives the player a warning for the attack. But that's only gameplay. Otherwise, the attack would never be useful. And as for Trish, that was used as a means of travel, so I doubt Trish was located in the clouds before that, but I'll wait for more people's opinion on that one. We see how Nello Angelo teleports with lightning, so Trish most likely ended up in the clouds after her little teleportation stunt there. I think Mangler actually even used that one against me at one point. And I was insulting.
Like, he does realize that there are several enemies in one that use, like, lasers for standard attacks, right? Like the plasma?
You mean how the plasma has a particle beam too? Yeah, watch no one bring that up. Because apparently people don't read the fucking books.
What about the insects in 2 in the sewer that literally fire lasers at you?
Kyle, watch them say it's not a real laser, but then watch them support FTL Ninja Gaiden with the exact same type of feat.
No, well that's what I don't get. They accept everything for Ninja Gaiden, but Ninja Gaiden, as you've shown and told me, has like so much less to support than Devil May Cry.
Alright, hang on, let's get our boy Fetty back in here. Guys, I just want my infinite speed hot chicks. Just gotta be real.
I got back here. Infinite speed.
I'm talking about Dead or Alive right now. I'm not talking about the MC. Blocks 3 consecutive lightning strikes. Lamau, no, that is just lightning having 3 separate hitboxes, similar to Saber's Energy Beam and DMC4. The particles were the glitch. Yeah, not really. The beam gets really longer. That doesn't happen unless it hadn't been fired. Throw the feats here so we can see and evaluate them. Add a Fetty. Alright. Okay, so to be fair, I will give Earl some credit here. He did at least ask for the feats. So, fair enough, Earl. I'm going to give praise where praise is deserved. You did basically throw Fetty under the bus.
Praise here. There's no praise here to give. He's asking for the feats, but it doesn't mean he's going to accept them, even if they're blatant.
I mean, yeah. But at least he asked for the feats. That's more than what they used to do.
Crooked judges also ask for the feats, but they still rule against.
And watches Earl proceeds to deny them for objectively terrible reasoning.
Imagine scaling DMC1 to anything below infinite speed. How embarrassing. Okay, the screenshot shown multiple times. You haven't proved anything besides your opinion. It's directly contradicted by the game itself. Okay, sure, except for the fact that they literally bring up the actual fucking video. Again, they have the actual video here, and you're only arguing for screenshots because that's what supports you. No, the lightning flashes 3 times each time. If it were one strike, it would be there would be no 3 separate flashes that cover the entire screen. And Dante is fast enough to just block one lightning bolt 3 times. That has already engulfed his body. I'm pretty sure it's more impressive than reacting to 3 different lightning bolts in quick succession. Well, he's not wrong. Ozra and Valor, you have to make a versus Battle Wiki account first. Oh, we got 10 viewers now. What the fuck?
Dude, at this point, I have no idea why they don't just, like, fucking settle the matter and just, like, come here to debate.
Probably because they either A, don't accept our level of evidence, because apparently it's not up to their standard, because apparently Kratos can get fucking so much shit without showing any feats, but when Dante has way more consistent statements and way more statements than Kratos, Dante apparently has more games, so it's invalid for him. Oh wait, it isn't, because Kratos has way more games than Dante with less feats to show for it. Damn. Wonder how that works.
Yes.
God of War 4 Kratos is even weaker than God of War 3 Kratos. What the fuck? He actually got weaker. Some bullshit.
Bullshit.
This one's closed right now, Azra, but on the Discord server, Afedi's already linked the 2 new ones. Or the 1 new one, because I guess Afedi beat them to the punch. No, the lightning flashes 3 times each time. If it were once... Oh, wait. Not necessarily. It depends on the effect used. You're saying that it went through the trouble of showing the beam getting longer as a way of showing that the beam was fired from Mundus in that cutscene, but for some reason they also decided to ignore actually making the beam shoot out of Mundus' head. Okay, so he slowed it down.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did the particle beam not come from the center of his eye on the top of his head?
It did, but they're arguing for the idea that because in screenshots the beam disappears off the screen for a couple of seconds, that fucking it wasn't fired until the cutscene is shown.
What?
And then they'll argue graphics and limitations for their argument, but when people use it for why the beam's not there, no, that's wrong. That's wrong.
It's an early PS2 game. What the fuck do you want from it?
Galaxies, literal universe-size area proven via scans.
Look, I shit you not. I shit you not. You know, if they ever made like a remake of 1 and they showed all this, they'd still try and deny it.
Oh, they'll call it an outlier, 100%. If we get a remake for DMC1, all I want, more than anything else in the world, isn't a clarification on the Mundus feat, isn't a clarification on any of that shit. I want to know why there are 2 dragons and why one exists inside Hell and one exists in the overworld. I want the dragon lore. I want to know what's Pluto's dragon. That's what I care about. The beam being invisible doesn't prove it was fired beforehand. That doesn't even make any sense. Not to mention you can clearly see even in your own screenshots that the beam was expanding, which wouldn't happen if it was already fired. Unless there's some limitations with the hardware, potentially. Well, I guess the PS2 is actually the fucking NASA space computer. My apologies. Oh, no, PS2, yes. Give me on PS2. Imagine if this was a PS1 game, the games we would have now. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense since it was apparently a graphical issue according to Earl, but that doesn't change the fact that it was fired from Mundus' forehead. And yes, it would prove it since it would prove the beam actually traveled a bit before Dante was shown to react. Not to mention the inconsistency between the lighting, not lightning. If you look at Mundus' forehead when he fired the thing, it was bright, but in the cut where Dante deflects, it wasn't. The beam is expanding because it's a different effect that is slower compared to the other effects shown when Mundus fires the beam prior times. If you believe the beam is expanding because the developers want to show the beam was fired from Mundus' head during that cutscene, then why would the developers make the beam appear in midair? Why would the developers show the beam firing in the before? Why would the devs show a pan shot rushing towards Dante after the beam is fired? That doesn't make sense. They didn't make it on purpose. It's obviously graphical limitation on frames. So if you're willing to argue for graphic limitations on frames for your argument, why can't you understand that same argument can be used against you? And is completely valid even against you? I don't understand. Dramatic effect, the most obvious reason. Dude, come on. That's
okay, how deep we're going?
That's bullshit.
You can't say dramatic effect so you can, like, not agree that he, like, reacted to it. That's bullshit.
This is completely unfair. Like, again, because, like, I would love to see a dramatic effect used for any other verse. I would love to see... I wish Versus Battle Week would have a YouTube channel just to come out and, like, try and prove that they're not biased in any capacity. That would be fucking great. I mean, whether or not it would actually succeed is up in the air, but it would be nice for them to attempt to show they're actually objective with regards to certain verses, you know? It'd be nice. Okay.
I agree.
Oh, they won't, because they know they'd get shit on super hard in the comments, because they would have no room, no leg to stand on.
Bold of you to assume they would keep the comments up. All right, let's take a look at this here. Okay,
hey,
so
me.
Here's a Fetty once again. Here you can see the Von with lightning cloud the ground at 120 to 250. Also here, note 207. Note the moment the floor gets electrocuted is the same moment the lightning strikes the ground, and the lightning is cloud the ground. Here, Dante manages to royal guard the Rook's laser. When you slow down the video, you can see that Dante's already in the blocking position before lasers even started. You're really going to ignore your own argument? You using the excuse of being gameplay mechanic wrong. There are zero problems when it makes sense, and when it comes to gameplay, what the player does is acceptable to Dante, and is even more acceptable when Dante pretty much fodders everyone. Royal Guard perfectly, the laser, I'm assuming perfectly blocks.
Yes, perfectly block. Yes.
Okay. Blocks the laser at any distance, won't matter. Since perfectly, Royal Guard only happens when the attack is about to hit point blank. Again, you ignored all those points, and your entire argument is literally because of scans and gameplay. So how am I the one trying to make your argument bad, lol? The entire point flew right over your head. So why one of your points is also saying is an outlier because at best high hypersonics and some relativistic. Still, you're right about the assumption anyway. About Trish, Dante Kuhn is right because though Trish and Blitz does throw lightning at the protagonist and they're capable of reacting to the lightning. About Dante reflecting the beam from Mundus, the only dramatic effect is Dante reflecting the beam, and to reflect it would require Dante reacting pretty quickly, something that he does. So it doesn't really matter feat-wise where the beam did come from. Calc-wise, yes, but still the point stands.
I got a question. Should we actually calculate how many like lesser demons and boss demons throw lasers and light for weapons? Because off the top of my head, I can think of several from 3, 2, and 5. Like I know Artemis can, but especially 1 and 2.
Watch versus Battle Wiki straight up be like, that can't be used because
Do they not remember that like one of the demonic chess pieces literally fires a laser at you?
That's the one they're actually debating right now. They're debating the Rook specifically, that you can't react to it. That's their main argument here.
But it's a lesser demon, and he constantly fights them in canon, so he should be able to.
Apparently, Kyle, it's not good enough for some people.
Well, yes.
Well, what about the fact that he literally beat something called the Light Beast?
Nope. Even though very clearly he's firing light and all of his attacks are most likely still light speed. Nope, Kyle. That is simply a name fallacy. I'm sure is what they'll call it. They'll give it some argument. Actually, Freddy, does anyone bring up Beowulf in this discussion or no?
No, nobody did. Nobody.
Disgusting. What are you people talking about down here?
They don't agree to Belf being like speech. They don't agree. They can't even supporters agree.
Okay.
So
they didn't make it on purpose. Obviously, graphical limitations is not. Okay. Dramatic effect. The most obvious reason, because by this logic, the beam would have already been in Dante's face, not going off if we follow the zoom in logic. Knight of Sunlight with that there V. Let's see what Knight of Sunlight has to say. I remember this guy. It's nice to know standards have lowered so much that saying a feat is dramatic effect is considered an argument now. Damn!
Damn!
Someone shows up and is like, that's fucking stupid. By the way, hi all, I'm back. Oh.
I know this guy. He's very cool.
I shit you not, arguments like this, and yet they still scratch their head wondering why people think they're fucking biased. It's arguments like this that make them the fucking laughing stock of the versus community.
Yeah, because, like, even going DMC, I haven't run into a single power scaler who actually outright likes... I give versus Battle Wiki less flack than most people I've talked to about versus Battle Wiki, and they don't even scale DMC.
Here's the thing, a lot of people will scale DMC differently, but we all agree that the versus Wiki fucking has no idea what they're doing. And yet still acts like the arbiters of debating.
That's definitely the worst part about it. Is they're not even willing to acknowledge why people give them so much shit. They're just like, well, why do people not agree with us or something like that? It's like, well, because you fucking do shit like this.
And you purposely change rules.
Again, hang on one second, Kyle. So Dark Guard shows up. This content revision thread is a mess. I don't have time to respond right now at this moment, but I will when I can. How about you just come back when you can actually fucking respond? Sorry, it's.
Don't worry, he said this. He did call out everyone. He did.
Look. I'm just saying that, like, fucking, if you're going to show up to a thread, you don't have to say shit unless you're going to say shit, you know?
Yeah, I know. I understand.
It's a personal gripe, personally, because it makes the threads needlessly longer. All right.
I kind of agree.
Knight of Sunlight. Hypersonic needed an update, that's fine. You forgot Griffin summoning Cloud the Ground Lightning from a thunderstorm in his boss fight. Trish moves as bolts of lightning and over half of Navon's arsenal of attacks. Massively hypersonic stays via pure volume of feats. Are we gonna ignore the fact that Alistair also lets Dante move at lightning speed, since apparently FTL doesn't exist in their world or infinite speed? Can we? Alistair gives you lightning speed there, massively outflying Dante.
Let's ignore all the bosses and all the lesser demons that fire lasers too. Doesn't Griffin also fire lasers from his mouth?
Griffin does fire lasers from his mouth, and a lot of them are super fast moving lasers. But I think they might be just lightning bolts connected to his face. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I think they're like lightning he holds around.
Look. Seeming we're going through all of the DMC feats. I'll fucking figure it out.
This is like Danko.
Seeming I've been assigned one. I'll fucking figure it out.
This is
Black Lady levels of
is laughable.
Debunking.
Yes, he's laughable.
I mean, look. If you mean they're experts in downplaying DMC, I agree. Versus Battle Wiki is not surpassed by anybody. No one downplays DMC harder than them. Absolutely true.
Except Black Lady. She's even worse when it comes to downplaying.
I take it back. Versus Battle Wiki, give me the crown. He's ready. This belongs to a real queen. Okay. Your argument using game mechanics as a basis in the first line spells out you don't have any idea what you're talking about, but don't worry, I'll ignore that bit. Damn, I wish I could give this guy a medal. Fuck.
Oh my god, murder.
Oh, dude.
Someone got the 911.
I mean, he could disagree on high scale DMC, that's fine. But goddamn, it is just nice having someone bring up the bullshit here for a minute. Gold star. Okay, Tony did not manage to achieve a perfect block on the Rook. This is to be expected. The timing for a royal block is a mere handful of frames. However, royal blocks parry an attack right as it hits you. This is literal. Right as an attack hits you, Dante has to have completed his initial startup animations and then just enter the blocking stance in order to successfully parry the attack. In other words, a royal block means Dante 1, cannot have time to prep, 2, cannot set up his defenses beforehand, and 3, must react to the attack as it lands. It is possible to royal block every move in the game, including this one. The issue is royal blocks are actually insanely difficult to pull off in DMC3. This is not Tony's fault, but the error lies in it not being a perfect block. Why are you guys arguing for fucking gameplay frames and shit, my dude? Use the lore in the fucking cutscenes. Why are we arguing frames and shit, my dude?
They're arguing it specifically because they've got nothing. Because if they went off strictly lore and what is shown, then DMC3 Dante would be like strictly like faster than light, like just from the amount of shit that's in it.
Imagine DMC3 Dante's not just infinite speed. No, I'll save that. I'll save that fucking chestnut for another day.
Like fucking, wouldn't Mangler pick up on all of this anyway because he's going for free?
He should. Again, Mangler's unfortunately working right now, so he couldn't join me today for this wonderful, wonderful journey. That being said, they do have a hacks thread that will be a lot easier to talk about, because right before they started their hacks downgrade, Fetty started a V upgrade apparently or something.
Yes, and yes.
So they got cock blocked right beforehand.
Yeah. That's fucking rubbish.
Okay, so as for the jump, Dante can avoid beams from the demonic chess pieces when the room is filled with them, and he is being swarmed by other enemies. They do not make noticeable sounds on attack, yet Dante can effortlessly dodge every attack from them, even when it is shot from behind him, when he is running in the opposite direction, or when being attacked. The fact that you, again, tried to nitpick things, specifically the frame data here, to ignore basic logic astounds me. Damn.
Isn't it illegal to post rapes online?
Within the game, Dante can dodge them. That is all there is to it. Nitpicking frames reveal that yes, they didn't expect humans to actually react to light speed because it is impossible to do so. But using this as the crux of your argument is foolish. Oh shit. Again, that's why, why are we arguing frames and shit? We should be arguing lore and descriptions and statements for, gameplay and shit for the most part, because obviously no light speed attack is light speed. Oh, Jeff Gaines, you're back. You showed up a couple times before. Welcome back. Are you asking where we hold Dante or where they hold Dante? This has already been covered, but Dante reacted to and flared his power after the beam would have hit him. In other words, he put up a barrier as it was about to hit his face. He even slowed down before he shot, then turns his face to moves when it's fired. I'll be straight up honest here. Way higher than versus battle wiki gives. I'll be honest here regarding this feat. I'll give my 2 cents. You could argue that Dante already had a passive shield up just by gaining Sparta's power. That's an argument you could make. But regardless, Trish blitzed that beam hard. So that should scale the Dante, because that shouldn't be an outlier, because Trish is way stronger than demons who are lightning speed bare min. Unless you support my theory.
If you want to take the angle in, Trish is at least like 10 to 15 meters away.
No, Trish's feat is way more impressive than fucking Dante's, because Trish literally pushes Dante out of the way too. No, Trish's feat is way more impressive.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The particle beam fires. She literally, like, moves from, like, 10, 15 meters away. It could actually be more. It's been a while since I've seen the scene. And she just straight up shoves him out of the way before it even hits.
Yeah, no, like, Trish's feat is, like, way more impressive than Dante's. Wait, hang on a minute. This is understandable for number 5. Again, yeah, it's all assumptions. But there's something at the end here. Let me read this real fast. I would also like to take a small time to call something out. You had 3 admins instantly respond with approval before anyone had spoken a single argument, and before any knowledgeable person had I'm putting person in there, had time to respond, and 1 more approving without argument or reasoning within minutes of posting. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but this reeks of corruption and nepotism. Especially as Darkside Demon King Madois, I think that's what his name is not only not knowledgeable in the verse, and Matthew and Weekly are active detractors of the verse. Oh, that's where I knew fucking, that's where I knew Weekly from besides League of Legends. He was a DMC down player. Well, that explains why I got the League of Legends scaling apparently wrong. Although, to be fair, I'm still on the League of Legends, so maybe he actually has it right. Maybe the guy who told me it was wrong. Weekly's calculations are good, but... What?
Hey, you. How are you doing?
Fuck me, it's Neil. Hey, Neil, what's up?
Oh, sorry about that, dude. I got me into some bullshit. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We're just
tearing into versus battles wiki again. Yeah.
Guys,
I want to punch someone so fucking bad. Okay, I'm sorry.
Clearly, you weren't having a good time. Yeah, so
okay,
right now they've mainly just been arguing that because people can't react frame to frame to lightning and light, that the feat doesn't work for Dante. They've mainly just been arguing frames so far. Keep in mind, these are in-gameplay frames, not cutscene frames or anything.
Several people have called them out on their bullshit, though.
Royal Guard's thing is, if you react to the attack on time, you negate... Oh, Spar 20 million. Haven't seen him in a while. You negate all damage, so Dante can react to the Rook Laser, plus he can dodge them as well. With Mundus, we see him shoot his particle beam first, then Dante turns around to deflected, so he did react to it. It seems like no one people agree. No, I actually remember Redgrave here. Let's see right here. But I'm going to side with Knight on 2 to 5. Lightning users is something Dante has fought. Royal Guard needs to be frame perfect to negate all the damage, and he was looking at Trish and looked up to react to a laser. Along with the fact that only the god tier scale to the moon is flying feet, and as people noted, doesn't break the scaling. What is this?
That reminds me, though. Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
Sorry if I'm distracting, but have y'all really went in depth with the whole Mundus thing? Because I'd like to give my 2 cents on that for real.
No,
we're planning on going through each of the games and getting every single feat from the games.
Yeah, so we decided we're just gonna actually make like a fucking full document, or at least a full place to just get all the feats now, because like at this point we should do it. But if you want to give your 2 cents on the Mundus feat, by all means, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the strangest thing for me, and like I've seen almost every refute that Versus Wiki has, and all of it is either denying that the realm itself is concretely existing, as in like it's basically illusionary, which is wrong by every account if you know the guides or anything like that. But the biggest thing that irks me is how they don't even say that it's massively faster than light. Like if we were to, we explicitly see stars in the realm, right? It would have to be massively faster than light plus, regardless of if it took them a day or not, because even if it did take them a day, it would still make them tremendously high in the massively faster than light plus. And this is going under the assumption that the rim itself just contains stars and is not a full-on universe, it would still be full-on massively faster than light plus because it can move around it and do so at a reasonably fast pace. But yet, for some reason, they're rated as faster than light, which is odd. Doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it's versus the Wikis. It's supposed to make perfect sense.
I mean, and the thing is like, even if you use the closest star to our sun, which is Alpha Centauri, which is like, what, 4 to 5 light years away, that would still make them massively faster than light plus. So, like, it doesn't make any sense. Either way, it's far beyond faster than light. Then just based on faster than light. It'd be weird.
Well, so they're basically, I'm not sure if you've seen this thread specifically, but they're basically trying to ignore the Mundus space flying feat and the Dante feat because there's too many assumptions for it.
Well, the problem is as well is that to ignore it, you're ignoring a big part of lore, which is a demon's name represents what their power is, and Mundus is literally supposed to be universe according to Kamiya.
And the DMC1 guidebook.
Yeah, that's where Kamiya says it.
And the funny thing about it is, like, I'm sure you guys probably already touched on it, but I might as well just bring it up too. But everyone likes to bring up the whole Kamiya as a troll thing. But here's the thing, though: people who make that argument don't also realize the fact that Kamiya doesn't like repeat questions, and he got a lot of that. So that's one of the reasons why he replied the way that he did. It's not that he doesn't know his lore, because he clearly does. It's just that he has a way of handling shit like that. At the end of the day, it doesn't make him unreliable and by any means.
From what I found with Kamiya is he's not a troll, but he doesn't like people actively seeking out like versus knowledge. He doesn't mind clarifying shit. He just doesn't like if you're actively going out and asking for specifics.
I mean, yeah. Because here's the thing: like, I've already debated the Kamiya tweets before, and I've already explained why they're fair game to use versus say why like the other ones don't invalidate it. Because again, all the other questions he's trolling on are direct power scaling questions that he hates, and then fucking the one question about the Mundus thing is a clarification question. It's a completely different question in general, and also he'll ban you and link you to that answer, so that's his answer on it.
And the funny thing about it is like, it's so funny because Versatile Wiki hypocritically also likes to use other sources from Twitter, like for example DC, which blatantly contradicts the lore and some stuff. And it's not even just DC, but a lot of other stuff. Bullshit. Doesn't make any sense.
We brought that up with the God of War like example, how they'll use the tweets from God of War, but nobody can agree with where the fuck they scale or what the mythology truly is. Because they'll ask one person and they'll have a completely different answer from like what Barlog has or what the art director has. But they'll still use it, even though it's contradictory.
And like,
not contradictory enough, Kyle.
No, because like, here's the thing, man. There's so many things that boggle my mind with how they do. See, because like, here's the thing. Another thing that I also probably, what was I going to mention? I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how you just take the whole Mundus thing, because if you agree that the realm is real, then you also agree that it has stars, which is something we explicitly see. So therefore, it would be massively faster than light plus, and not only that, but it would also mean that Mundus at the very, very low end, would be multi solar system level. Which I know the reason I brought that up is because I have a really bad feeling that Versatile Wiki is going to do some AP downgrades, even though it's probably going to be hard as hell to do so.
Oh yeah, they've already announced they're doing AP and hacks downgrades. They're already trying to neuter the verse as best as they can.
Yeah, and not to mention, like I said, I really don't like pointing fingers here, but really. When one of the people who was making the downgrades is known to forge scan, manipulatively lie, and all that shit, I think you should question that, regardless of whether you think they're right or not.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start here. Let's go ahead and continue back here. So we have Dark Grad showing up once again. I guess he finally got some time. I was going to type up a more extensive post, but Night of Sunlight pretty cleanly stated what needed to be stated, probably in far less words than I would have put it too. Also, let me bring up one major thing. However, Navon never uses lightning attacks against Dante, or at least not as one would assume from the wording. What does this even mean? Navon's entire gimmick as a boss fight is that literally almost everything in their moveset is lightning based. Around 90% of all their moves are based around lightning, and while some of them would be questionable on their own, there's more than enough that's already been stated to suggest it is as regular lightning. Anyone who has actually played the game knows this, yet you base your entire argument around one single attack Navon can use, assume that was what being referred to, and then base your entire argument around why that particular attack wasn't valid. Damn. It seems that they're finally starting to kick things into high gear a little bit. Ooh, boy. Oh, yeah. Poor Bayonetta. Poor Bayonetta. Matthias Meza, you're new here. Are you a down player? Oh, you seem to be a down player. KLOL is on this thread. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yes, he is. He did comment.
Hey, who the hell is
Well,
that?
that's something else too. If they want to hit with what's the most consistent stroke, then Bayonetta is also nothing over like Lightning Plus.
Wherever
If
you are,
the most consistent.
KLOL. Hello. Wait. Is he a guy from the Versus Battle Wiki? I think I saw his name earlier.
Yeah, it's from Versus Battle.
Oh, well.
Who is?
Cool folk.
Welcome. Is he Mathis here?
No, Matthew is Matthew.
Okay.
Matthew did comment in your news video. I can take the name. This is your YouTube name. Hold on.
This is a Fetty for anyone who's wondering.
Yes, it's me.
Alright. These arguments. Okay, listen, dude. If you're trying to make yourself seem neutral, don't fucking make fun of people's counter arguments, especially when you're not doing a voice chat debate. I've seen sets debates and shit, so I understand that, sometimes you just, you can't control yourself all the way. I understand that. But you have the luxury of typing. You shouldn't be doing shit like that.
What makes it even worse is the fact that he was bad-mouthing you in another server. You and, the whole server, basically. It is fucking crazy. Come on, dude. Come on now.
Look, you can disagree with what we have to say, but at least have the fucking guts to come to our server and debate.
Yeah.
Debate points. Have the guts to come.
I promise we won't dogpile you.
Look, we'll make a promise. You can have Zim one-on-one, and we'll stay out. There will be no dogpiling. We'll all stay out.
Yeah. I don't know. This is really confusing. Dude, if you're gonna do stuff like that, at the very least, be at least willing to back yourself up.
Oh, is that Matthew? Oh, well, welcome, Matthew.
Wait, Matthew who? Matthew who? Hold on now.
No. So I know Matthew Strodinger, but that's not the same guy. Yeah, no, this is just a different Matt. Guy, although it is the same first name, so it's probably Matthew. If it is Matthew, don't be rude to him.
I'm sorry. I thought that really was Matthew. I was gonna say, bro, it's been a while. I'm gonna have to tear another asshole into you, bro. Come on.
Someone took away their hurting my soul. Okay, yeah. So it was the right idea. So yeah, again, if anyone first Battle does show up during the video and you guys know it's them, either don't call them out directly so that way they don't feel fucking pressure or anything, or just don't shit on them. We try to be as civil as possible here, no reason. We shit on arguments more than anything else, and maybe people, depending on the situation. But I'm just amazed at how y'all argue that it's just Tony messing up the block when he actually didn't. He royal blocks that one. Just keep that in mind. People who actually played the game know way more about the lore and verse and easily broke apart your arguments, telling you you're wrong. Yeah, even though I didn't know about Navon's other attacks and they're very clearly proven I don't know all the lightning feats in DMC, I'm going to say you're wrong. I mean, he could be right, but his credibility is shit right now. Also, my man legit called corruption on the admins agreeing with me. One of them being Matthew, who very clearly likes downgrading DMC. It's like his favorite fucking holiday.
Well, it's not even just DMC. Matthew just loves downgrading anything in general. He started to rage. I'm going to define as a psychological warfare against the Mario verse and all this other shit. I don't know why he just does all that. It's crazy.
Wait, hang on.
He was
People versus Battles Wiki now trying to downgrade SMT.
Yes, listen, dude. If y'all do a video on that, you're definitely going to grab me on that because I'm one of the biggest SMT fans.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind because
Is it failing or is it succeeding?
which SMT is being downgraded though?
Okay, for some reason, like one of the things that I remember them seeing, they're gonna downgrade. First, they're starting with the Devas. They're like people who made like the barrier that separates the expanse and human world and all that, the multiverse basically, and all that. But they're like planning to downgrade basically all the demons who are like 2A that are not like Kagasuchi to like low 2C to 2C, which I disagree with, but. So what this
I would suspect you would disagree given your statement there.
And the thing is, I'm not sure if this will affect Dante, like SMT Dante. This probably will actually. No, actually, maybe not. I'm not sure how.
Because like, does Demi Fiend is Demi Fiend gonna be part of that downgrade or not?
Well, Demi Fiend's probably no. Given who Demi Fiend's actually facing all that, he's probably not going to be affected by the downgrade, or maybe and probably not even Dante either. But it's going to definitely affect a lot of other demons. So it's still going to have a large effect.
Nah, Neo, just watch. They'll make some of the SMT demons as weak as some of the Persona verse bosses.
Oh God! If they do that, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to. Right now, I'm kind of taking a break, but that was gonna have to take me out of my break and have to get back on versus wiki.
Doomslayer fans are becoming the new Saitama tards. What are you guys not pleased with a 1C Doomslayer? I'm kidding. All right, let's get back to it. Hang on. He actively told us in the video description that he messed up the blocks. Son of a bitch! Yo, that fucking Drew? Yo, dude! Oh my... where's the video link? Hang on. Okay, I'm on number 64. Alright, I'll be right back. No. I have to see this. I have to see this.
No, he did do a perfect block. He did a royal block. He did miss.
Damn it, the video, damn it, it's not there. Alright, we were on 64, right? Yeah. That would have been fucking... Oh, I wish I could have confirmed that right now. That would have been fucking amazing.
No, I can confirm it. I do have the video. Okay,
if you have the video, screenshot the description. And if it directly says he fucked up, this guy's lost any credibility. Any chance of credibility this man once had would be gone if the guy says he actually fucked up in the video description. Good lord. However, you are still attempting to use absurd arguments like frame data to disprove actual feats. How many gold stars can you give? Dante can dodge and block these lasers even from point-blank range, and while turned around or find something else, at the worst, he would be relativistic on that fact alone. Actually, Neo did bring that up as well, actually. He said that even if Dante's not fully reacting to the light, that you could still argue that the Rooks would still be relativistic, or Dante would be relativistic via the Rooks feat. Yeah, because the thing is, even when you aim dodge light, even if you were to aim dodge light, it would still hit that kind of range. You would have to have that kind of You would have to have that kind of reaction to even be able to aim dodge light, much less intercepted, which would be far, faster. Like,
check the video on Discord.
All right.
Just read the description.
One second, guys. Give me a second. Sorry for all the noise. The fucking dog was loud and my controller is old. Almost as old as my OG controller, which doesn't work anymore. That's why Dante was moving so much. Bad timed release. First Royal Guard, more Royal Guard. Bad timed release, more dodgy, more Royal Guard release. Okay, so he doesn't directly state that... Oh, wait, hang on. 337. So he does not directly state that he's fucking up directly... But he is explaining why he looks so bad in the video. So this isn't peak performance.
Assim, just watch the video. You're going to see it did fail sometimes and it did perfect block sometimes.
Okay, so let's go take a look here. So this is...
I wish I could say a little bit longer, but it's time for work.
Alright. Yeah, he basically perfectly blocks that laser. You're arguing semantics at that point. You are straight up arguing semantics. You literally just have to argue for frame data at that point, but he's still doing it. Zen play Among Us. We got 12 people. Shen, as you can see, I'm doing a versus Battle Wiki video right now. Talking about the vision thread. King of Sun or Knight of Sunlight and Grat's points make sense to me. Or a bubble user. I do gotta say it is a little sus that like a lot of people who are supporting DMC here are straight up have DMC profile pictures.
That is some bullshit, bro. Okay, look. I like how they try to act like they don't profile people and act like they don't have bias, but yet they make comments like that. Come on, now.
No. That's just me saying that. I mean, they probably think it. I'm pretty sure we can find evidence they've said it, but that's just me saying it right now. I'm just saying it's kind of funny that the only people who actually scale DMC somewhat like well are people who like straight up just have the icon. Hang on. All right, let's go ahead and continue. I call bullshit on 2 active detractors of the verse, one of which does not even pretend to be knowledgeable, and both being extremely controversial figures. Immediately responding to your thread before any knowledgeable have been alerted or even know about the thread. They have also responded with no reasoning at all, and only one discussion mod has even bothered to actually debate. Corruption may be too strong of a word, I can admit, but this reeks of horseshit, pardon my language.
So true.
There wouldn't be enough stars in the night sky to give this guy a gold stars.
Damn, bro. Okay.
Okay. I heavily agree with King Knight of Sunlight. I keep thinking King of Soul for some reason. I don't know why. Knight of Sunlight and Guard's points. This is a Fetty. I'm going to give my opinion about Dante Flex Moon's Beam of Light. While I do agree with Knight of Sunlight point, the game makes clear that that Mundus fires his beam in the next cutscene is show Dante turning his head to deflect the beam of light. The problem comes when the next cutscene doesn't make clear, so let's go with context. Both cutscenes make clear that Mundus fired his beam before Dante even turned his head, so Dante isn't looking at Mundus before the beam is fired. The third cutscene requires a lot of attention from the viewer. You can notice the beam is frozen mid-air while Dante's turning his head and the beam comes to Dante. The third cutscene makes the feat not clear visually, and still context says Mundus fires his beam of light, Dante turns his head and deflects it. Yep. Again, absolutely correct. And that's why they don't argue for the video, they argue for frames and shit. I strongly agree with Knight and Guard's points. Sheen 1, neutral for now. Okay, so that's a little better than saying I can respond later, because he's just outright saying, like, I'm going to say something, but I'm just here. Just to elaborate on Knight of Sunlight's 4th argument, I analyzed the video again, and he's right. He did put up some sort of barrier. And we can see the beam starts getting distorted by something right before hitting Dante, then about some milliseconds later. A small explosion appears in front of Dante's head. This indicates that the beam hit something that's not Dante himself. If it hit Dante, then that explosion would overlap with Dante's head, making it hard to see. Also, if you look at the beginning of the explosion, it doesn't start at the center of Dante's head, it starts a bit to the side. Also, the fact that the beam randomly got distorted by something mid-air, and then a few frames later, an explosion appears with no clear indication that it hit Dante. So with all this, we can conclude that yes, Dante did put up a barrier. I strongly agree with OGBU and Earl. They are by far making the most sense here.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. I'm straight up gonna say the main argument they have is straight up frame data and shit. Not even lore or anything backs them up. What's this guy on about? But to be fair, he's just a random user. I'm not gonna bring him too hard. Anyways, just wanted to drop in and say there are a fair few messages here reek of bad intentions from staff and non-staff alike. Don't be foolish, y'all. Bias has no place in a proper content revision thread. Shall be speculating this one for now. Oh. Okay. I don't really know how to react to that, man. Because it's like, he showed up for something. He seems pleased with what he did, and then he disappeared. So...
Don't worry, Z. He will appear again. He will appear.
Okay, he'll come back later?
Yes. And destroy the Dawnbreakers. You're going to love it.
I have to say, without naming any names, though let's face it, anyone familiar with these threads knows who exactly I am speaking to. The fact that we have people with bias-filled opinions, even as staff members, is generally disappointing. We are trusted with having a neutral thought on revisions and thread. You're trusted. No one believes it, but you're trusted. You may not like everyone and everything, that's fine, normal, but if you're letting that dictate your decision of legitimacy, come on.
Expose it.
It reminds me of a comment. Actually, no, I remember actually even posting this. I remember one of the mods even said that hot take, and I'm gonna try to paraphrase. I'm not gonna say in quotes, I don't have it on me. But he said, paraphrase, being biased doesn't matter as long as your points are as good, which I mean,
What?
that doesn't make any. Let me just get it. So I can. No, hold on a second.
So what's the stream about?
We're talking about versus Battle Wiki Island.
Are they downgraded DMC?
Yes, if you've been paying attention, if you would have paid attention to the actual Discord server for the past week, you would have seen that.
Oh yeah, here it is. I finally found it. So basically, what one of the mods said, and I quote, "Hot take: bias doesn't really matter if you can substantiate your points, but again, keep the DMC shit on the thread."
That, oh my god, that's retarded.
No, I'm gonna post it just to show you that I'm not bullshitting you. Like here it is, right here.
Also,
Posted.
you are free to talk, obviously. Oh, hang on. No. Okay, so this is from apparently a thread. This is outside of the thread. This is on Discord. Hot take: bias doesn't really matter if you can substantiate your points. Again, here's the problem though. Your quote-unquote points are based and founded strictly on bias though. So how can that... When you're doing a debate, you have to argue from a position of good faith. That's the problem. Because if you're not arguing from a position of good faith, there's no reason to support your argument or even, like, entertain it. Unfortunately. And I hate to say that. Because I don't want to sound like fucking, certain people I would know. But that's kind of true. Like, if you're not going to be fair, why should anyone take you as fair?
Yeah, exactly. And like, what was even the point of saying that? There's no point. That's just basically a concession that what you're doing is motivated. Well, what you're doing is basically motivated by your pure opinion and not any objectivity in it. Like, come on now.
It seems fairly one-sided.
It's versus Battle Wiki, so, gaining so much activity is, like searching for gold
Versus
during the
Battle
gold
Wiki,
rush.
the same people who will downgrade a certain character for very minimal reasons. Kind of like how they downgraded Unicron at one point.
We could be here forever. We talked about those type of downgrades. All right.
I completely agree with Night of Sunlight and Grat's arguments. They're the ones that make the most sense to me. I love how he only put that in because someone else earlier put, this guy makes sense to me.
Wait, but the same coin.
Fetty, your profile picture creeps me out. How could it be? Fetty's profile picture is a good, God-fearing man. How could you be creeped out by that? For context, his profile picture on Versus Battle Wiki is the Burned Man from New Vegas.
Ultra more. That's it.
I thought this was a Christian server.
I mean, I've seen creepier images before.
Well, you're not wrong on that one. Okay, I'm going to clarify how Royal Guard works. Oh shit, Fetty's trying to lay down the law. Let's see how it goes.
I had to play. I can't believe I had to play Royal Guard.
Okay.
Throw these guns from war. To see if I can talk sense. Entendi work. Go on.
Let's see what we got here. Alright, so, where do y'all scale Ozra to? Hang on fast. Are we referring to Ozra from Ozra's Wrath? He would at bare min be 2C by the end of the game.
First of all, Wiki has on my like 4A though.
And they're wrong, like
That's
usual.
Donkey.
Have them at like 4A because like the thing is, I don't even think they accept the whole. I don't think they accept like the whole universe. Actually, in funny enough, it was Matt. Guess who downgraded? It was Matt who downgraded.
No, everything makes sense.
Oh wait, hang on. Yeah, I think I remember that one because they argued that they downgraded it being about galaxies and shit, but it's not galaxies because apparently like they're on top of the Milky Way galaxy. That still doesn't disprove any of Chalk of Arton's other statements or any of his. Not the time.
If Matt wants to downgrade DMC, he should make his own fan fiction of DMC where Dante isn't that powerful and post it on the FCOC wiki.
No way.
COC wiki.
It's the fan fiction for versus battles. It's for fan fiction characters of power scaling.
That's a fucking thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've actually made pages on that too, for real. But that's irrelevant. Never mind. We're not talking about that. That's irrelevant.
All right, Kyle. Don't worry. Don't worry, Kyle. We know you're here in spirit. Oh yeah. By the way, in case you guys didn't notice, the V poster in the back. So very excited for V to be upgraded to 2C where he belongs.
Wait, V is getting upgraded to 2C?
No, I'm fucking with you. Well, I mean, he should be, but no, I'm fucking with you.
To get that
How
on
much
Brizza
longer is
Wiki,
there to go? Oh, we're gonna be here a bit. We're gonna be here a
to
bit.
get that on Brizza Wiki would be a miracle. That'd be like trying to convince. But no, I'm not gonna make that analogy. Not now. Never mind.
Royal Guard's defensive style has 5 abilities, but when it comes to feat, speed is only one ability is relevant. Royal Block. This block is reaction based and can only be used when an attack is about to hit. And makes a different exclusive sound Royal Block happens, so it can't be confused with normal block. According to DMC4 Guide, which includes the game description from the game, it says to block at the last second before hitting you. Yes, I'm using DMC4 because I don't have DMC3 description at the moment, and there are 0 problems using DMC4 statement. Since DMC3 Royal Block works on the same way, I recommend this video where it explains everything about Royal Guard. Hyperlinks. Like the video said, everything can be Royal Blocked, and this grants a huge relevancy to the thread since Dante can block all of Navon's attacks, which includes 2 cloud to ground attacks, and Dante can block the lasers. I'm surprised they haven't made the argument saying that lasers aren't actually light speed.
Zim, go up. I want you to show the scan on the guide.
Okay, here, let me go.
Can you do that?
Yeah, okay. So
How people ignore that? How?
yeah, so it says right here, evade enemy's attack at the last second to avoid damage and greatly increase the angry energy stored within the royal gauge, which is complete bullshit. Anyone who plays DMC on a like super hard difficulty would already be enraged enough to keep Royal Guard like 100% for the entire game.
But how people ignore the statement? I don't know. Say how?
Alright, let's go ahead and continue. Make some comment later on. Okay, again, you don't have to make posts like these, for fuck's sake. I'll reply whatever was said here in the past 2 days later. Wait, he left it alone for 2 days? I think everyone has an opinion on something. It's not like the staff members were the only ones who agreed. I think you're making a much bigger deal than necessary out of this. No, it's not making a bigger deal out of it. You literally have one of the guys who straight up just hates DMC being scaled to high levels of power. No, it's completely absurd here. I understand you want to argue that the credibility isn't invalidated, but you do have, let's just say, questionable company to support your downgrade.
And you know what's funny? He's the last one to talk about making a big deal out of everything, considering his rant on DMC scalers in the server.
Yeah, so while I'm not connected to any versus Battlewiki servers, there are people on my Discord server who are connected to it. Does an attack being lightning in nature make it lightning speed? No, versus Battlewiki.
Not versus.
Reading through the thread, I agree with Knight of Sunlight's points. I think I just might call him Cause from here on in. Royal blocking as a whole is a reaction-based technique where you need time to move properly to counter an attack. Anyone who's seen a lot of high-level DMC play on the internet would know that the perfect blocking any attacks from normal enemies to the bosses in DMC 3-5 with Royal Guard is possible. Hard, but possible. Cause and Dark makes sense here. Oh, that's interesting. The one above all presents one. Question, what else will be downgraded on the verse besides the speed? Okay, so Cause is busting. Okay, so Earl's about to get into it. First, I don't think I am. This has been going on before you even joined the site. The same members and same people making decisions based on personal opinion over accuracy is absolutely a big deal, as that undermines the entire point of the site. Regardless, I am derailing. Oh, so Earl doesn't I thought Earl would be around for the original downgrades and shit, but I guess he's not that not that old. All versus Battle game, yeah. I don't know how old the guy is in real life, obviously. Right, let's continue. Anyway, I'll go over what was said in terms of points. If I do miss anything, please do quote me on that. The only argument about this I remember is Trish came from the sky as a lightning bolt. I just want to say that's not where the electricity starts. That makes it true natural lightning. So just because the same electricity she normally uses was now used by her but vertically doesn't make it natural lightning. To get the speed rain, it needs to be caused by the clouds. That is natural lightning. Not the fact that it wasn't used from the hand of an opponent, rather from high to the ground. You forgot Griffin summoning cloud to ground lightning from a thunderstorm in his boss fight. Trish moving his bolts of lightning and over half of Navon's arsenal attacks. Massively hypersonic plus stays via pure volume of feats. Show me Griffin. Trish moving his bolts of light isn't natural lightning. Over half of Navon's arsenal is either not really lightning attacks, it's using electrified bats, and the ones that are lightning, Dante does not react to them, even though we've already had evidence supporting he does react to them. Having a lot of feats where all of them are not legit doesn't make the rating fair. And if Dante is... Well, okay, again, so why is no one bringing up Alistair giving Dante lightning speed? Like
they don't believe.
That's my problem here, because like they don't even accept the high-end DMC scaling. So why don't they just bring up Alistair and say, boom, massively hypersonic Dante based on Alistair's statement? Layers, Weezer. How far are we in this right now? We're basically like an hour. We're basically 2 hours into this. Good lord, we're not even past the first page. And Dante's fast says just block one lightning bolt 3 times as Arden engulfed his body. I'm pretty sure it's more impressive than reacting 3 different lightning bolts in quick succession. Oof, you don't block at lightning bolt 3 times. You block the lightning's hitbox, which by very definition, game mechanics, it means nothing outside gameplay. 3 times, not the same thing. Except the hitbox is meant to be for the lightning and the animation of the lightning itself. It's supposed to represent lightning hitting you. Because, where to begin with this one? First of all, you're arguing that you cannot give a video, arguing shit that you cannot get a video of. Let's all keep that in mind. I saw the video he's talking about. The guy very clearly blocks it near instantly. Again, it would still be sub-rel regardless. Second of all, it's not a parry right as it hits you, or it is have it right as it's about to hit you. Emphasis on have it up. Yeah, right as it's about to hit you. So you have to put it up right as the attack's about to hit you. He doesn't have to move as it's coming. He just needs to have it up by the time it's going to hit him. And considering, yeah, as it's about to hit you. So you have to have it up right as it's about to hit you. That's literally in the statement. That literally makes all of your claims of it can be done impossible. Oh. And considering these lasers, okay, by the time, and considering these lasers do not have expanding hitbox frames, that literally makes all of your claims it can be done impossible. And hey, if it's not, and I am wrong, do give me a video proving me wrong. Again, why are we arguing strictly for fucking gameplay frames and shit in order to do this? That doesn't make any sense. If in-game your character can block an attack that's supposed to be a laser, you would assume, in good faith, that character could block a laser, even if the direct gameplay can't show it, because gameplay has way too many things to factor into. Or I don't know, maybe I'm just a little more lenient when it comes to scaling games, who knows. The room being full of enemies does not make the beams any faster, nor does it have any sort of difficulty other than a lot to deal with, which is in speed. I mean, it would help his reaction support it better. While not looking at them, okay, if you try to argue this from the fact that the player can react to having a 3D camera, we see that Virgil also has, like, omnivision around him, so, again, that would scale to Dante. Can see things behind Dante that he would not be able to see, except he would based on Virgil. I would highly suggest you never debate DMC again. It's just not for you. But whatever it is, a room with people doesn't give anything else other than high awareness. I would highly suggest you never debate DMC again. It's just not for you. What the fuck?
Yes.
Is Earl fucking for real?
Hang on.
It's for
What the fuck are these statements? Cause might have called you out a little bit, but that's because your thing was a little sus. You're straight. What the fuck?
I think Earl probably needs to stop debating DMC because he very clearly knows nothing on the topic.
I don't. That is again. What is? Yeah. I thought versus Bad Week was supposed to have a little more decorum here. I thought you guys were supposed to be feigning objectivity.
What? Just reading this makes me have a head sore. What the fuck?
I don't understand. But whatever it is, a room filled with people doesn't give anything else other than high awareness. Even if we take it at peak interpretation, Dante's just aware of the enemies around him. Doesn't give him any more speed. Doesn't make his jump somehow be sped more. I don't know how your argument even relates to this. Nor does it make his jump have any less iframes. Nitpicking frames reveal that yes, they didn't expect actual humans to react to lights because it's impossible to do so. But using this as the crux of your argument is foolish. Ah, yes. So we're using gameplay scenes, even though as you admit they are not exactly as they should be. So wouldn't this mean that we should stick to just cutscenes then? Yeah, sounds perfectly good. Cutscenes and lore, absolutely.
Like, wait a minute, but like that's so stupid. Like, okay. So let's say that this is true, right? Let's say this is true, right? Let's just go and run with this logic, all right? So would you be saying that like a lot of things that just happened in DMC didn't because it's gameplay and it didn't happen in a cutscene? Or no, let's take a step out of DMC and take that to almost any other RPG type series. So we just disregard every type of ability that a character can use in an RPG just because it's not a cutscene? Are you fucking stupid? That doesn't make any sense.
As you're
can't.
saying, the gameplay is flawed, so removing only what you want from the game, frame data, but keeping the feats is plain cherry picking what you want, which is a disgusting way to go about these things. Oh, that's rich. Oh, that's fucking rich.
He should not be even saying this crap in the slightest, seeing as he's been cherry picking.
It's
And
not
pretty much
lightning.
the entire
It's not
fucking thread.
lasers. DMs, you really versus. You know what? Okay. Just gonna say you don't exactly have the highest ground to stand on versus Battle Wiki on that shit, but alright. I guess you guys aren't nitpicking. Okay.
Like you totally, yeah, versus Battle Wiki, like how you totally constantly nitpick how Mundus's dimension is not supposedly dimension, even though it's very clearly stated by both the guidebook and Kamiya, and also shows two different variations of an MFTL plus feat. But whatever, I guess we're just going to ignore that because Kamiya's a troll.
Admitting that the frame stuff exists, but removing the parts you want to wank the speed of the verse, not good. That's rich. That is rich. To everyone who's arguing for this, can we just stop using subjective opinion on what the scene I posted was as a factual argument to defend this point when Trish's feat of pushing Dante out of the way from this beam literally exists? Can we just do that? Instead of going through thousands of mental gymnastics trying to defend this feat, if we could do that, it'd be much more appreciated. Wait.
Dude.
Wait, I don't understand this one.
No.
So, is he arguing that, like... I actually don't get this one. Because, so Trish again pushes Dante out of the way. That's something we see. But, is he arguing that because Trish does it, the feat's not valid or something? I don't know. Dude, in DMC5, Griffin straight up summons lightning from the sky. We see Dante block that casually with Devil Sword Dante. That's super easy. Why are you even asking for that? Come on. Come on, Earl. Did you even play the new game? Come on. I can do one better. Multiple instances of Navon summoning lightning bolts from above and Dante dodging them. Griffin summoning Cloud the ground lightning in DMC5. And every Griffin boss fight in DMC1 Griffin can even turn into one to move with lightning to flee. You also somehow deny Trish materializing from an actual bolt of lightning to not be her traveling. Oof. You don't have to block 3 lightning bolts. You block the lightning's hitbox, which is by very definition game mechanics. And means nothing outside gameplay. So this is him specifically quoting the guy. I'm just reiterating.
Yeah.
Except you ignore one important thing. You are using game mechanics as a reason to ignore an actual feat of combat and speed done by Dante. Beautiful.
Fucking golden.
All the stars in the night sky wouldn't be enough for this man. The full incontestable point of the matter, Dante can block, parry, and dodge bolts of lightning. The game mechanics of him blocking the hitbox is not and never will be an argument against that. The feat being gameplay does not decanonize it or allow us to ignore it. The mechanic behind same gameplay being used as anything close to evidence is absolutely fundamentally ridiculous on your part. They're not even trying to be fucking chill about this anymore. So this is how you know democracy dies. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm having a great time reading this, but this is just kind of funny that like they're not even trying to be nice about it anymore.
Nah, they lost their subtlety the first time they even made the first downgrade thread. That wasn't even subtly trying to hide bias. That was just out there for everyone to see.
Exactly.
Hang on. Yeah, okay, I see what,
The game is permitted to stream only in a non-commercial context.
I was gonna say, I could stream Kingdom Hearts and just, like, turn off ads, but... Oh.
Is that awkward?
Oh, man.
Who wants to play 30 games and not get paid for it? Or even pretend to get paid?
I mean, maybe you actually want to play the games. Sorry, it's because my brother told me there, like, I think it was yesterday, he told me there was, like, a specific clause in the Kingdom Hearts game for streaming it. And basically, you can only stream Kingdom Hearts if you're not doing it for commercial purposes. And he just showed me the clause right now, and I'm like, ooh, that's a little gross. Yeah, but Marvel, Disney, what more do you want?
Soon enough, Disney's gonna start owning the air that we breathe.
Laughs at Microsoft.
Nah. At that point, I'm pretty sure Elon Musk is gonna, like, I don't know.
Elon Musk will ascend from his God Emperor's throne to challenge Disney in a final battle.
If
Yes,
you know about the chip.
him and his robotic son.
Wait, you know about the chip, Neo? You know about that? About what Elon Musk wants?
Alan, no, Alan, stop that. I feel like you get into some weird conspiracy theory stuff right now, and this video is already sorry, long enough as it is. See above, the final point of the matter is these enemies attack with laser beams. Dante can dodge these beams, block them, even when a room was full of them and is being swarmed by our targets. The gameplay mechanics of how such is done does not make it less of a feat, and ignoring such a feat because it is done in gameplay is absolutely ridiculous. Cease this argument at once. Damn! And find an actual one. Damn! If you keep using, dude, if you keep using game mechanics as an argument for this downgrade, you have a long list of games you need to rescale to reflect this new ridiculous standard, such as Dark Souls. Bolt of Lateral Nightling can be dodged, but you would argue that the character is only dodging their hitbox. Legend of Zelda, Bemis Beams can be dodged by Link. Bloodborne, Sekiro, Infamous, and so many more. To everyone who's arguing this, can we just stop being subjective opinion on what the scene I posted was? No, we will not stop arguing this because we have an actual point. Dante reflects the beam after he is fired. Trish putting him out of the way is an outlier and plot-induced stupidity of the highest order. And before Mengler comes in with that humanity boost... No, but to be fair, Trish would have gotten a humanity boost by that point, so her being faster than Moonus' attack for that, just like a casual Moonus attack, would not be an outlier for Trish. Because she would have gotten boosted, thanks to her humanity boost, she would have gotten that. She for sure would have gotten this, since we know humanity boosts exist in DMC. Regarding that point, let's continue. How can you honestly tell people to stop arguing for something they believe in, especially when they have an actual argument to make?
Damn.
And I have someone that's just going to own space by this point.
Somebody,
I recommend you check 2 comments from mine, where I give 2 Cloud the Ground attacks for Navon, and on another comment I explained Royal Guard, a description of the game itself to tell us a valid information about it. Only happens on the last second before hitting you, so it's a point-blank reaction nonetheless. Okay, this is just a repeat. About Trish, a discussion already happened and was agreed Trish uses real lightning. She had the AP and her powers conducted on metals, and no Earl majority here disagrees with you. Alright, Fetty, you get 1 gold star. Max and AP. On the bunch of links you sent, can you give me the timestamps? Make it so much easier for both of us to debate from that point onwards. Dante can block, parry, dodge bolts of lightning. Can you actually prove this happens though, and it is not just gameplay? Wait, okay, so is gameplay fair or not fair to use? That's where I'm getting confused in, because he's using gameplay to downgrade speed, but now he's saying that can we use gameplay? Okay, so we're on the same page about gameplay, so he is okay using gameplay, okay. However, you go on saying this happened even outside of gameplay. Can you prove Dante reacts to these lightning bolts and doesn't instead use aim dodging or predicting the attack? Yeah, easily. DMC5, no problem. What proof can you bring to me to say that Dante used a Royal Guard Naval in the lore and he set up to block only when the bullet was near him instead of... Well, because again, Fetty already brought you the description above for Royal Guard. Can you bring me this proof? Fetty already did. Because all you're saying is random statements with 0 proof, whereas I'm using facts from the feats themselves here.
What was that laugh?
That was apparently the laugh of Fetty. That was the laugh of the Fetty, apparently.
Facts
can't do this shit.
I would understand facts and statements if it hit him right in the fucking face.
Alright, see above, can you prove to me that Dante's dodging those lasers after they've been fired in lore? Yeah, because Dante should be able to royal block everything within the game of minor demons, and his attack states it happens before the attack goes in, so yeah, he should be able to royal block it. Also, Dante is more powerful and stronger than every other demon in DMC, and also, or in DMC in 3. Also, technically, the chess pieces wouldn't be able to hurt even the Abyss, since they're superior to every demon, minor demon, in almost the entirety of the series. So guess what? They're most likely Lightspeed too, because they would most likely be able to dodge the attack from the Rook, because they've never known defeat. So even if the Rook fired a light at them, the Abyss most likely would have dodged it, which would be Lightspeed in general. But that's more lore than anything else, so I can't prove that. So I won't, I won't rip too harshly on that one. Let's just go over here real fast. Put that in there. All right. See above. Even though they're acting as if they did, Dante doesn't need to dodge or go to royal block lasers after they fire to beat these guys, but you're acting like he does. Nobody can. That's the thing in game, and he also fights stylishly, unlike Virgil. So you can't argue that Dante just goes for efficiency. He'd most likely fuck around with all his enemies to some capacity, which means he most likely knows what they all do. How can you also stop people? Because the arguments are literally based on pure opinions, and even I have mentioned reasons for why my interpretation of the fee is just as legit. Yes, your interpretation, just like their interpretation, would be just as legit as well.
Oh my gosh.
There are reasons to believe both, but none too conclusive to lead only one, making the fee very questionable. Unless there was some argument I missed, in which case I apologize and do quote it to me. I will check it. Also, I was just going from the wall to Dante after the beam was fired any worse than this. I don't see why we should discredit the gameplay feed solely due to them coming from gameplay. Also, like Knives said, Minera Versus used them as well. So if we were to apply OP's propositions, this would be kind of a special treatment, which admittedly isn't new when it comes to DMC. Oh my, straight up, yes, another gold star should be given. And might I say, sir, what a nice icon you have. If our ratings are to be taken seriously, I expect the same standards to be held everywhere equally. Otherwise, the wiki will seem more biased. If something happens in gameplay, the feat can absolutely be valid. We don't just give arbitrary and ignore the gameplay originating feats. If the game shows Dante blocking, parrying, in gameplay lightning, the man is blocking, parrying, lightning, and the story. The fact that the lightning has a hitbox so he can mechanically do that is irrelevant. Damn. Good shit. Good shit. It's almost like there's potentially some fairness here. Hello, Fetty, bringing up some more Cloud to Ground lightnings. We have the point of view from certain people that it is sacrilege to use lore and statements for video games because it utterly contradicts gameplay and what's shown in game, and now we can't even use gameplay to validate our feats. I am still neutral on this, but this is an asinine viewpoint just because it's a certain verse. He's probably seen the channel a couple of times, I suspect. Lamau Earl going to dodge my points with questions now? Don't worry, what happens on gameplay is canon. Only feats that breaks the scaling are invalid. And look at this, the guy confirming damn Rook fires lasers. There's your canon, Earl. And every single enemy that Dante encounters are canon. The only thing you could argue is higher difficulty, changing the enemy's position and making them appear earlier in the game. Which still, I wish we could get confirmation for what is actually the canon difficulty of DMC.
I use normal difficult, normal to hard to start. Caso só uma espada, durante mais tarde aí eu blink later enemy saber, way later.
I've always been curious on the canon difficulty of Fist of the North Star.
Fist of the North Star doesn't have any difficulty. Wait, do you mean the game itself?
Yeah, what would be the canon difficulty?
You mean for the new game, right?
Yeah.
Alan, they literally have an in-canon difficulty.
Damn.
I mean, it's wrong, but they have it.
That's interesting.
So the game came out, and the game came out with DLC called Canon Difficulty or Canon Power Levels to show where the characters canonically scale to. It's wrong, but it is the best interpretation you can give, I suppose. But it is wrong. It is absolutely wrong. Also, Neil went to go take care of a call, so let's continue. I'm going to ignore your last text since everybody throwed reasons and proof you just keep strawman the thread. And again, you ignore our point, Dante can block anything in the game, and even royal release, which is a point-blank reaction counterattack. Except we're using reacting lightning as an argument when he very clearly doesn't do that in gameplay either. So the issue is this feat of reacting lightning is not to be found anywhere, and it's just cherry picking what you want from gameplay. Despite the fact that all your gameplay feats you are trying to disprove all scale either higher than lightning or at lightning level, whatever.
What the?
Okay, so what? Oh, I got someone else talking for a second. Okay, so that doesn't somehow mean he is reacting to lightning. Except he does react to lightning multiple times throughout the third game. Royal Guard is just a nail in the coffin because of how focused it is on reaction. It being gameplay means jack shit because the feat still happened. Oh, that's a discussion moderator too. Let's go ahead and learn page 2. Now to me, Matthew returns!
Oh no! What you going to say?
Let's see this legendary reasoning to support it. I still think it all makes sense.
In gameplay, Royal Guard is literally
That
I
being
mean-
clearly is going to be the equivalent of hearing the word of God. I'm just so stunned with the immaculate nature of Matthew's argument. In gameplay, Royal Guard is literally aim timing and not dodging most of the time. That's because you're bad at using the ability. Wait, what do you mean not dodging? Royal Guard isn't a dodge ability. What the fuck?
Thanks, sir.
Matthew, Royal Guard is a block. Matthew,
A block, yeah.
You want to go home? You want to lie down for a minute?
Natural drug, go home.
All right, except it didn't, dude. Show me one single case where he reacts. I keep asking for these, but you keep giving me faulty feats. He never reacts to those scans you show me. So where are the cases where he's reacting lightning? Where's the faulty feats? Can you tell me which feats are faulty to begin with and why? I still think Earl makes sense. Oh, it's still dodgy or not. Royal Guard relevancy, Royal Block works point blank reaction based. Hell, even Royal Release, which is a point blank reaction counter attack based. And those two abilities work on all attacks. So why the nitpicky with gameplay feats when the game itself tells us the description and small piece of lore from the abilities that confirms how it works. I'll post DMC if I have it in the moment, but they still have work on the same way on DMC4 anyway. Not that also DMC4 could have retcon the information, so nonetheless it's acceptable. Yeah, no, DMC3's description from what I can tell does not have like that sort of like right before thing. It's rather general. So
Yeah, doesn't have.
I mean,
It's weird.
I mean, it's the same technique regardless. So you could just make the
Yeah,
argument
yeah.
that it's
I agree to that. It works in the same way.
yeah, that either works the same way or it just got retconned at a higher, later on, easy things you can argue for here. Hang on 1 second. Someone sent me a message for something. Just checking out real fast.
All right, I'm back.
Hello, Fair.
Alright, let's continue. Also going to quote Mr. Mumby. People, come on. Dante can roll a block or release anything. This automatically means Dante can react to anything. Yes, anything. The only thing he can't block is Leviathan's acid, which isn't even an attack and stays on the ground. There's a little obstacle that stays on the player's path. He never reacts in any of the feats posted. He always has his guard up before a laser hits, so he's never reacting to laser, always expecting it. I was going to say that this falls as a sort of aim dodging, aim blocking. Either way, the standard remains the same.
Aim dodging.
So yeah, this can't be used for speed with the counter improve, I'm afraid.
Yeah, they try to throw in dodging.
I actually remember they did just outright say at one point that the reason you can't use the feat of the Rook is because it could be too aim dodgy in nature. I remember that was an argument back in the day. No, it's false. You're ignoring a lot of things. The fact that it's reaction based, all attacks can be rolled blocked by Dante and scans the ability description, which says the block only happens at the last second before it hits you. So again, it doesn't matter the visuals. The game counts Dante blocked at point blank. That even works the same way for a release. Please pay attention. You guys are using weird visuals and frames. When the damn description from the attack and reaction is based point blank, please stop ignoring proof. Again, yeah, the lore and statements support DMC, but they're going to use the visual like they've always done. Matthew's showing up. Okay, this might be Matthew's first actual argument here. Visuals are literally how we determine dodging feats, dude. What the hell are you talking about? They do matter. Last second is too vague for this sort of level of reactions. Within such short distances that happen less than a second. Meaning that as it's shown, he does have to have it prepared shortly before. So no, without further... Last second, at the last second, you're literally arguing for the semantic. You're literally arguing semantics here. We know last second means as a term of phrase for the last possible moment.
Like for no, it doesn't even. I don't even understand how you could have some prepared last minute. Listen. Let's say I write an essay last minute. That means I didn't prepare for it. That means I'm writing it and trying to pull my ass so I can get it due. Basically.
God block that light speed right there. Sorry if I haven't been paying too attention to the chat. Forgive me for that one, but I'm trying to get through this a little faster because it took a lot longer than I was expecting. Visuals are literally how determined dodge irrelevant. The only thing that will affect Dante's position is to count the block every time Dante does a royal block. The game counts Dante block the attack at the last second before hitting him. That's backed by a description of the battle. Last second too vague. The description makes it clear. The block only happens when there's 1 second left before the attack hits you. Being short distance is relevant, but for a reason you likely didn't realize. This shows how slow lasers are for Dante. I'll give you an example. I'm not going to go over his example because the example is pretty straightforward. Dante's feat on reacting lasers follows this logic. For Dante, it will take a lot of time for laser to reach it. A point blank distance takes a second to him, while in real life it would be lost in a second. The feat is still legit. So you're ignoring the entire point of how Royal Guard works. Can you debunk how it's faulty instead of just say he always has his guard up when that's not how Royal Guard's perfect blocking works? Since we are ignoring the ability descriptions for gameplay screenshots, I guess Dante's new hacks lets him block an attack after it's already passed through his body. Damn.
Intangibility.
V and his familiars being Elder Girian Knight, who is two bosses working together, Cavalier Angelo, a Lightning Angelo powered by Trish and Girian, a variant of a demon, Dante Fall DMC that slows and speeds up time. I want to keep in mind that technically Cavalier Angelo, or more accurately, the Girian Knight is Elder Girian Knight, and it would be stronger than the one Dante Fall in DMC3, just saying. Imagine if we get a statement in DMC5 that all the bosses are Demon King level.
Damn, I'm going to love this.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Lady the fucking Universal Plus again. V and his familiars are able to react to Cavalier Angelo's attacks. A demon that uses Cloud to Ground Lightning travels at Cloud Ground Lightning speed and is powered by Trish riding Girian to have enemy at Dante. Oh, hang on. Speaking of time for itself and Cavalier, of course, V is 100% human and weaker than even Lady in physical attack potency and durability. That's where you're wrong, kiddo. But I'll discuss that later. No need to open that can of worms right now. I'll debate them on this one. Diamante, I'll debate you on this. You're fucking wrong. Keep in mind, V reacted to his familiar Shadow Nightmare's attacks when they attacked him before making a contract. Too true. Too true. And, damn it, Kyle had to go.
Why are you typing?
Hang on.
My Mango is here.
Wait,
Wow.
Is he in the call? No, he's on the call.
Oh,
He's
no,
on break
not
right
the
now.
go.
He's on break right now.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I also beat Other Side last night, so or yesterday. So we'll probably be continuing your Final Fantasy 9 or starting a new game this Tuesday. Keep in mind, if you sit here and tell me that DMC3, Dante, Virgil, Arco, and DM bosses do not scale V speed and you're trolling, it's honestly shocking that this is being ignored. Oh no! So technically, V is more powerful than DMC3, Dante, Virgil, and Arco.
Yes.
So
Which?
yeah,
Switch.
V is actually stronger than DMC3 versions of the characters.
That's weird, but still.
So
There is speed for that.
look, I'm gonna leave it be for now. I'm just saying, technically, you could argue that V speed would be greater than theirs. Technically, that's gross.
Messable VV. It's
Except
messable.
that's how it works. Royal Guard is about blocking a certain amount of frames before the attack reaches you. However, it is having it up by that time since lightning or lasers. Yes, having it up right before it hits you. So you have to put it up right before it hits you. Again, the wording is pretty clear on this one. For a fit to be legit, it has to start the blocking mission. Diamante, we are not ignoring ability descriptions though. We are explaining how that description doesn't mean he scales because he's predicting it, not reacting to it. As for V, sure. What do you mean? What do you mean that he's fucking predicting it? Dante's reacting to it. Royal Guard is a parry, as you yourself have stated. You don't fucking predict parry moves. You usually react to them, and even then. Wait, hang on. I heard a. Oh, for a second there, I thought I heard a smug breath. Seems good. Curious how many divers you're planning to do. We're not ignoring the descriptions. Nobody doing the description thing. The only thing you try to do is dismiss the description of visuals, while the description justifies the not so clear visuals. From lying about people with agreeing with you to ignoring my points and scans and straw man to the story and arguments. Well, points. We are not ignoring descriptions, but explain it. While this didn't happen on any level, the only thing that happened was you using gameplay scans. Okay, to be fair, he does use the description to try and argue for his point. It is bad, but to be fair, he is doing it.
So I could understand that.
So,
Fair.
what you are doing is ignoring the ability description. You're saying Dante's predicting because he's pre-blocking a split-second frame visual that doesn't show how a lightning bolt, but ignore the game registers the same split-second frame as a lightning bolt attack. Otherwise, Dante will take damage. And the description's a royal block that explains what's happening when Dante uses royal block. Okay, like he's wrong on how he uses it, but like he is technically using it. Here's values of you want the feats of V personally dodging from attacks. Reach chapters 5 and 8 visions of V manga available on manga decks. It's not wrong.
Not wrong.
You can just block by predicting though. I once again love how you're just saying, oh, you're ignoring this. Clearly without understanding the core problem being finishing in action in time, not necessarily being speed, is you don't really need to react or can clearly have stated it earlier. Or again, you don't start earlier. You'd have to start during the attack frames itself, or at the very least, lore-wise, you would start during the attack itself. If you want to, how the fuck is your speed 21,000? You fucking animal. Okay, the fight with Gearing though, the bolts of electricity Gearing user are definitely not lightning. They don't even work. As for the electricity that comes from above, well, that could be lightning going just by visuals. V is absolutely not reacting to any of them, or at least not their speed. I believe Earl's gripe with V's feats isn't a wholly DMC problem. I think his problem is how the site treats perfect dodges and iframes as legitimate reactionary feats. This would make it a problem for a lot of video game verses. Then wouldn't it be more appropriate to have a thread on that general issue instead of going back and forth here? It's much easier for me to personally take verses one by one and look at the scenario at hand instead of arguing for theoretical examples, and the Acon guy will say, did he react, did he not react? I'm currently going over why neither of these guys are really moving, acting at speeds. Except V does react to Nightmare's laser later, which is faster than Griffin by a vast margin, so you could just bring up that he reacts to a beam faster than, Dan said lightning, because, it blitzed Griffin. But that would be logic there. Of course, something I will look after I look at the specific cases. Similar to how it said Sekiro is the same thing, it's accepted even though Sekiro's case is much different. Girion doesn't use the electricity. Cavallangelo, who's writing Girion, does. All Cavallangelo attacks are massively episodic based on using Trish as a power source, along with using your techniques. You can watch Identify Cavallangelo in DMD and see its ground to, or cloud the ground attacks, movements, and abilities. Not trying to be mean, but if you played the games, this thread would go so much more smoothly, and I wouldn't have to explain basic stuff. Damn. How is using Trish as a power source prove Angelo's attack being massively episodic? Dude, what even? Also, I have played DMC through 5.
He did.
He did?
I can guarantee. He did. I can guarantee. He did.
Alright, so Faye's saying he did play it. But I feel I see all these hip hops in arguing we're doing now. That's rich. Trish does not have enough proof for massive episodic electricity, let alone a dude who absorbed her and launches normal electricity rather bolts of it that clearly with much lower speeds than the lightning he uses in that same fight. Also, if you say those bolts are equal in speed to the lightning he uses in that same fight, you'd be lying straight out of your teeth. No, we could assume the attacks all go at the same speed, because why would he fire a slower attack? In game, the attack looks slower, sure, but lore-wise, the attack should be at the same speed regardless.
And, the funny thing is, wasn't he just not trying to go for gameplay originally? What happened to that?
It seems that it seems that gameplay is a big issue all across the board here regarding what can be used and what can't be used, and what is being used and what isn't being used. And let's not forget about having the power of a girl with electricity. You can use the electricity in different ways, as in the case of radiant electricity versus bolts of electricity. Can you lower that, or take it off? A lot of people doesn't know how to deal with gameplay feeds since they are so used in anime and media. Even so, there's not a problem where people try to disprove features using bad gameplay or player dodging instead of time dodge. And also, I'm pretty sure it's already common sense to ignore obvious gameplay feeds when they go against the story, making them invalid. And for DMC's case, the ability description shows what's really happening, visuals are clear. You sure you play DMC because DMC 5 states Trish those lightning bolts and also carries capable of throwing lightning bolts at you. Alright. Cavalry's own attacks are proof. Trish being my Sonic Lightning Demon is support. You play DMC 325 but thought Gear and use electricity? Strange. Oh, did I miss that? Oh yeah, he said Gear used electricity. That's gross. All DMC demon bosses scale above Blitz, so they are massively hypersonic. Geary and DMC 5 scales above Blitz, so it's massively hypersonic. Cavalier Angel scales above Blitz, so it's massively hypersonic. How the what? Nani? Trish scales above Blitz in speed? Excuse me, can you actually show me a sort of Trish scanning? She outsped Blitz because she's above lesser demons, which is what Blitz is, a lesser demon. She believes she's faster than a dude who specializes in speed. Not happening without some concrete, and that is the case. She is equal to the Savior, who's superior to almost all demons in the series. What the fuck drugs is that one smoking?
It's because the novel.
Trish is not equal to the Savior. Get the fuck out of here. That's insane. I mean, could Trisha beat the Savior? Yeah, it's entirely possible. But that'd be because of the Savior's weak points and shit. That'd be like how Bayonetta does it. Okay. We're going back to the Moonus again, but we're just going to scroll past one a little bit to save a little bit of time. Yes, because the dude that specializes in speed is a lesser demon, the lowest class of demons. Doesn't mean the upper demons scale above him and things like speed. Scale doesn't work like that, especially when it's quite literally teleports around with speed.
Son of a biscuit.
Actually, Earl, that is wrong to an extent because we know that the Blitz is a soldier of Mundus and was created by Mundus to fight. We could easily argue that the Abyss in DMC3 would scale above the Lightning Demon and potentially even the Fury. But the fact of the matter is the Abyss would be superior to the Blitzes because the Blitz are demons who would have fought in wars and the Abyss have never known defeat. So they would have most likely fought the Blitz at one point and would have easily beaten it. He doesn't literally teleport, he travels as lightning. Yes, it does work like that. Nowhere does it say that the Blitz is faster than higher demons, and nowhere does it say that Blitz's speed are formidable to higher demons. There is some problem with this logic, because if you were to take this logic at its face value, this would mean that the Fury is slower than every final boss demon and every higher level demon, and if you take the Fury as that would mean that even bosses in DMC3 would be immeasurable speed, potentially to bare minimum infinite.
You could actually.
Just saying, a little bit of a slippery slope.
You can scale the mid tier to because they higher tier and they would be the type of. That's a other thing.
And now
You can.
Oh, go ahead.
What? What?
Okay, so it looks like Ophetti seems to be a little busy right now at the moment. Ophetti, if you're talking to someone else, please mute your mic.
Ah, sorry.
Alright, so Ophetti's going to be gone for a little minute. Okay, since we're accepting things that happen in game, Blitz's in game definitely moves much faster than Dante, so quite the anti-feat.
Try.
Well, for one, when was Trish equal to the Savior? 2, how's the Savior superior to all demons in all regards? Ophetti already posted all scans you need that you straight up ignored. Dodging attack from a casual Dante, sharp who's Blitz faster than Dante. I guess that means DMC4 Nero is comparable to DMC4 Dante. Being superior to lesser demons should be enough, but traveling as Lightning Bolt, just like Blitz. Without Lightning Bolts, power rating, demon armor suit that travels, the fights, and Lightning Bolt is also enough proof for me. Oh, this is really turning the shit show. Oh, fair few I missed. Let me answer one. Lightning bolts, definitely not sold on this one due to the fact that they say bolts, and bolts are by no means how lightning is really supposed to work. Oh, okay, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's... Okay. Caviar lightning bolts. Those lightning bolts have already answered. Then just put them both together, for fuck's sake. Someone actually ever refuted Trish having electricity-based attacks. That is still her own lightning. She's from above. As I said, whoever refuted that. Hints being able to defeat the Savior. It's not really a hint, though. They could have easily meant that Don just realized Trish would not have been able to beat the Savior, so he refused to want to switch jobs. No, it's very clearly Dante just didn't want to do the stupid or the easier, or more accurately, the less enjoyable job. Oh, thank you. That's still way more proof than what you have. And as I said, the blitzing game was way faster than Dante. We shouldn't. Why shouldn't we consider those gameplay feats? It clearly happens. Okay, so do you want to use gameplay or not use gameplay? I don't understand. You're the one who argued for gameplay first, didn't you? By the way, can someone find me a scene with Dante? Well,
Massive double speed on Earl's end.
wait, how about the fact that Dante can royal block he can perfectly block the Blitz's laser beam while inside the laser beam. You know you can do that, right? Like you can actually block the damage frames while you're already hit by the beam with Royal Guard. Like, why isn't anyone bringing that one up? Okay. It's the same, except if you want to use gameplay, then Dante Trish Lady very, very perfectly stays locked on the Blitz, following his every movement, even when it is teleporting. That's true, they do follow it around completely. It's the same fucking move as it is in DMC3, except with more fluid animations. I wonder if my argument is ever going to be tackled. No, he actually makes a blocking animation behind if he hits behind DMC5, he moves his arm. Locking is game mechanics though. Again, so what in gameplay is allowed to be used? Because he's switching around all the fucking time.
It's only when it conveniently suits him. That's when it starts to matter.
I mean, that's what I did say that earlier. I just don't want to like fucking be that guy about the situation. Because I am trying to be a little more neutral versus Valky this time around. And they're just kicking me in the balls every time I decide to do this.
It's fine. I guess I'm gonna just be that one dude who just blatantly doesn't like them.
Well, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I don't like them for the most part. I have issues with a lot. Well, not personal issues, but I have issues with how they do things a lot of the time. It seems that you seem to know them more personally than I ever did. But it's just like, I am hoping that some people would be willing to come out here and debate, a little bit. I know they never will. But, I just want to sort of make it clear that I'm not going to be a complete asshole to them if they do show up.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And they still cannot do anything during that time, and he's still quite clearly faster than them? No, he's not. They move literally in reference to him almost exactly. Massively hypersonic perception? What the fuck? Yeah, it's their same ability. DMC 5 just animated properly. Instead, what happened in DMC 3 and 4 where Don Soulblight snaps a different direction the attack hits is the exact same ability. You can't say it's not. Lemai, since Trish Donovan approved Massive Sonic and you just showed you proofs, she can even harm Lady who have 9A and deal serious damage against demons who contain Kanan and Lady who's 9A on AP. What's the problem with the bolts? They are still lightning in nature, doesn't matter speed of the visuals, you literally try and use gameplay mechanics that helps the player react to it as a way to say they don't move at Massive Hypersonic. How to flip Blitz more faster than Dante, what Dante can do, any Royal Guard, dodge, whatever he wants on Blitz. How is he slower than Blitz on Mundus on boss fight, throws a ray of lasers and beams on light at the same time? So to be fair, I think Earl does bring up a solid anti-feat up ahead, or a solid argument feat. I doubt it. None of them want to come up and talk to me. Let's go here. So you're gonna ignore the ability description and say no laser feat. Also, don't Fetty, don't pester them on this one because I don't want you to get blocked by correlation to me. Because they will do that to some capacity, depending. So Nero, Dante, Lady, and Trisha bullets are faster on Blitz. They are faster on blitzing, or bullets are faster on Blitz. Not saying that. If you agree that the gameplay is whack, then where do you draw the line? Then how about you draw a line with lore, cutscenes, and back it up with lore and cutscenes and shit, and statements and descriptions. That's where you draw the line. You make your assertions and your claims based on lore and descriptions and stuff. Okay, so he's saying he debunked you, Fetty. Good lord, I'm late because finals, but this got reduced to my dog doesn't have this or that animation, so if he doesn't count. Can someone give me a TRL? Let's see here. He's arguing for the 4th feat, but I bet to get it to a direct response. No, I'm questioning your consistency when it comes to X attack doesn't look as fast as Y attack, therefore X attack is not Y attack speed. This is what you believed in the argument you are using vocabulary Angel speed by pointing out the flaw in that argument. Sure, now I'm asking where do you want to draw a line with these? Do you only want to take what you want so we can inflate the stats to oblivion and back? Oh, that's fucking rich. Taking what you want when both sides could potentially be accused of this. Is that how this works? We take the most flawed feats ever from gameplay and spend 4 freaking days trying to say they are legit, but clear anti-feats that are just disregarded? Is that the game we're playing? I was going to respond to it later, but I forgot anyway. You're legit using author intent as an argument, so there is your answer. Are we seriously going to say that author intent isn't a valid argument when you literally argued earlier and supported the idea of dramatic effect?
Yep. Like I said, only for convenience.
Get the fuck out of here with that noise. You can't argue author intent is weaker when your side literally brought up dramatic intent and you didn't shut it down. Get the fuck out of here. So is Massively Fast Night gone or is it still here? No, that guy's new. I'm going to contact Dan so he can contact staff to end this. Okay, so to be fair, Fetty, kind of a dick move before even making it count. So I gotta be honest there, Fetty, kind of a dick move that you tried to end the thread without at least taking a tally first. On my defense. Alright, hang on. You added yourself, Fetty, but alright, I see you. At this point, I was pissed at Earl. Fair enough. Perfectly reasonable. Any sane, reasonable person would be in your position would agree. Yeah.
Agreed.
Neo, hello. As a sane, reasonable person, I too agree. Backed by evidence that pokes holes in your argument. Also, I don't think we have a say in the matter. If the author intends that the fee is valid, then the fee is valid regardless of what we think. Yeah, it's my problem I kind of have when they argue for authorial intent and shit, because I don't expect an author to research everything. And I know some people really want an author to be researched and well-researched when he does speed shit and stuff, but I don't expect that from an author. No, Troy, I'm here for like 2 hours or so.
This is about what he does, at least. it expects an author to know virtually everything that a scaler does.
Well, I think a lot of people do because not I mentioned Seth earlier because I ended up watching some of Seth's newer debates because he uploaded I guess like 10 of them, and he seems to hold that same standard too, that an author should know some degree of knowledge about it because he uses it as evidence to support their like speed, and I'm like, what? What is this? I don't expect my fucking authors to be fucking physicists. Just saying. I don't expect them all to be the writer of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but they can't all be fucking perfect.
Exactly. I don't know. Just stuff like that is kind of why one of the reasons why I kind of I don't know.
It's left Neo speechless.
The reasoning is because like obviously not all authors are gonna be like your Einsteins and all that shit, but also at the same time, I don't think that even if they did know that to an extent, it would really like what change much of how they treat it in the series as far different. Like for example, I know series that are like done by are like dumb people who know some certain things about a topic, but yet they still manage to fuck it up in their own series. Stuff, but yet people still argue offers intent, which no, that's not how that works when the series itself goes against it.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, so let's continue here. Thing is, I've also given evidence as to why the interpretation isn't also exactly airtight, and you don't know the author intent, mate. Stop arguing that part. Oh, we're gonna argue about author intent by the guy you guys won't accept author intent from. That one, yes, the rest still being argued to see. Well, I'm fine with the other feet staying. I agree with the others being legit, neutral about the particle beam, but I have problems massively faster than light. I mean, do you have any reason for being fine with them, or you just, I don't care enough about them to yeet? Oh, that's fucking rich. What, so he has to provide an argument to be against you, but your supporters don't have to provide an argument to support you? Get the fuck out of here.
What a load of hypocrisy and double standards.
Straight up bullshit.
No, it's literal hypocrisy. There's no way around it. That's hypocrisy right there.
And he just fucking calls him out like that too. That's also bullshit.
Bro, you don't understand. Bro. If a Fiddy would have called him out on the thread, I would say he would be justified because I sure as hell would have, and I probably would have got banned for it, but I wouldn't care.
I mean, look, I'm fine with this being done as long as it's done even-handedly and fairly, but very clearly it's not here.
I don't. Nah, I just already. I've already. My bad.
I'm just saying low triple. It's fine.
Nah, I've already made my point clear. I don't like Earl. I really don't. So making this video is a joy to me.
Don't you actually like know other stuff he's done? Because I only know him from this one, but I think you mentioned like he's done some shady things in the past. Also, don't.
Oh no! He's like okay. So one of JoJo thread, he like forged scans, and one of my friends called him out on that and all that stuff. Like he forged a scan. It wasn't on the thread about JoJo. It was a downgrade on Infinite Speed Gold Experience Requiem, and he's forged a scan and tried to make that to support himself. And a friend called him out on that and all that. And he got no repercussions for that, even though it was a very blatant forgery.
Man, guys,
I can even link.
At the end of the day, this is fiction. Come on, now.
I can even link the thread itself if you think I'm bullshitting you. I'm serious.
Wait, is the forgery still present on that thread?
I'm not even. Hold on. Let me show you.
Because I've read JoJo, so I'd love to see the scan version.
Hold on, I'm gonna show you right here. Let me just get it. Let me find the thread. You can continue on. I'm gonna look for it because I know exactly where it's at.
Jesus, this is still going on. Man, this is a real Christian server. The Lord's being brought in every corner. Alright, let me put it like this. The arguments for the content removal thread being passed are reaching to the point of utter absurdity. The very act of passing the content removal thread would mean treating this verse to be by an entirely different standard to how we treat any other verse purely for the sake of downgrading it. And in terms of actual support, not a single actual knowledgeable DMC member is supporting your argument. The fact that so many people have gone on this thread despite understanding the game so little that someone had to actually make a post explaining how Royal Guard works is just ridiculous. There are about 20 knowledgeable members in the verse actively going against you, and trust me, these DMC knowledgeables have had more than enough of single member stonewalling threads in the past for up to 2,000 posts. If I recall correctly, at least some small parts of the controversy have some level of agreement and can probably be applied, but this thread is not going to go anywhere otherwise. The vast majority of this is never going to be passed by anyone who actually understands the verse, the wiki standards, and isn't trying to be disingenuous about their intentions. if we can compile together the things on this thread that actually have been agreed upon so far, then I think we could actually go somewhere with this and finally conclude this thread peacefully and quickly. If that's just not going to happen, then it'll be clear that nothing productive is going to come out of this thread, and I'll just close it here. Oh, he's a discussion moderator, so we can actually straight up close it. That's funny.
Oh, I found it, by the way. I found it. Here it is. If you want to look about it, there it is. Yeah, by the way, yeah. So that's Earl. That's Earl. Dude forges scans and has gotten away with it. We didn't get away with it because he got called out, but he got no repercussions for it.
That is the cheapest. That is the cheapest.
Zero.
Thing
Come
I've
on,
ever.
man.
That's so cheap.
Son of a gun.
Dude, yeah, that's that. He didn't even try to fit the text box accurately to the original. Oh my god. Yo, hang on. Did you add Kyle? Oh, dude, you gotta add Kyle on this one. Oh my.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or
Well,
can you edit your post to add Kyle?
Yeah, well. Valorant Blade, right?
Yeah, Captain Blaze.
I got
That's amazing.
Yeah, seriously, I'm not even joking. He did this. He edited a scan and got called out for it and got nothing happened to him.
Am I still banned for Sabat Wiki? Of course I am. That's a dude. I thought you were low key fucking around a little bit there.
Oh, I wasn't. I'm serious. He did this. He did this with full knowledge of what he was doing.
Yeah, Fetty, the stream will be up afterwards. We're currently at 3 hours and 8 minutes, so just come back and join after, or come back and continue after the 3 hour 8 minute mark to continue where you left off. Have a nice day, Fetty. Thanks for stopping by. Let's continue.
Wait,
hang on.
Oh.
I heard some. Alan, do you want to say something?
it's stream over?
No, stream's not over yet.
Oh, okay.
Fetty is in the call right now. You can see him right there. Alright, let's continue. Are really arguing to use authorial intent for the author infamous for making exclusively troll World of God statements in response to fans pestering him? Yeah, key term, pestering him. Authorial intent means nothing. The author gives zero shits about how strong his characters are, but he intends his scenes to work the way he wants them to work. Say what you want about Kamiya, but the man wants his pictures to work to be pictures that he makes. And has never given a serious answer to fans asking how strong Dante is unless you like ask your mom or know you are blocked as World of God statements. Yes, because I've already explained why that's wrong. Or God, how about you actually drop an argument instead if you all just don't know what you're talking about when literally multiple people have been dropping arguments everywhere. And yeah, no, authorial intent is not the same thing as the author fucking answering questions on Twitter. If the author intends for a scene to occur the way it does, that doesn't mean he has to consistently keep answering and backing up his answer over and over again. I think we can all agree on that one, right?
Lord.
I think that's a fair place to put that. Okay. Have you even read my arguments? Well, when half your dudes are defending a speed feat that literally does not include movement, how's that for an idea? Okay, I can sort of understand where Earl comes from to an extent. I can understand why he's frustrated, but the problem here is that Earl himself... Zim isn't going to see you, Shin. DM him. Okay, throw your voice chat. Alright, Shin, but if all you do is fucking cuss and shit the entire time, I'm probably going to have to mute you because I'm trying to get through this a little faster, but welcome, Shin. So try and restrain yourself a little bit.
Wait, you getting demonetized again? Is that the problem?
No, the problem is I don't want to be here for another fucking 2 hours because I got class today. Hopefully I'm trying to finish this off within the hour. So, you can go ahead and comment, but just like, if you're going to comment, try not to go too long about it. Okay, again, this guy right here, Seville... Oh. I feel like he fucked up his name a little bit there, but I guess it's supposed to be backwards. I guess we'll go with Seville for now. Again, yeah, he's not really... The fuck comments Twitter posts even have to do with this thread and with the game. Nobody did bring up his Twitter posts. This should let you know at least one person that's forced to downgrade isn't actually paying attention to the thread. Ooh, weekly being called out there.
Dang.
I am sure none of the DMC members with real knowledge use communist statements as part of the argument to try and save or improve the statistics of the verse. If that was the case, such a thing would have been rejected as proof, since afterwards, since afterwards of everything is a statement that has been rejected so far by the staff members themselves after coming to light. One of the driving forces for Dante's upgrade was him replying universe to a tweet about Dante, so yeah. The tweets are portraying the Moonist asking about what he did to a certain cutscene. And no, that hasn't been driving force universe DMC for a while now. Again, the actual question they asked Kamiya for the universal answer is not the same thing as other power scaling questions. It's not. I've already discussed that in length. Anyone who's being honest can do it. If they were talking about the God of War career Cliff, then I agree because Cliff can't even confirm if the real PS3 build God of War was legit. What the fuck is the real PS3?
Oh, good job, Kenny.
I'm not opening that rabbit hole right now. On the contrary, what upgrade Demons 3 to Tier 3-2 was Argos X and Manga Universe Fusion feat, and the Demon World also almost collapsed after Moon's defeat. All for crying out loud, this isn't even a threat about the tiering of the verse, yet somehow people manage to not only try and make it about that, but they're arguing against it by arguing about justification that has been used once for the verse in over 3 years. This thread has devolved into incomparable nonsense. And nobody actually supported the OP has any clue what they're talking about, even when they're arguing for it at this point. I already put forward the offer to just compile what's been accepted and apply these changes. Nothing, because is nothing productive about this. I brought that up as it was argued that we should accept author 10 as reasoning. Thus, I pointed out why the 10 for DMC is unreliable. Yes, on Twitter, but that wouldn't mean for the game itself. The acquisition that I don't know what I'm talking about when I helped with this and the upcoming DMC versions for months is rather insulting. Where you're certainly not making a point about this. But kind of tweets have been used here. This is completely false. Royal Guards still has block, normal perk block. Normal blocks can be broken and make you take damage. Royal block can be broken and lets you take damage. There's a big ass difference in using the game with some Twitter comments. Pointing them both under the same tree is at best foolish and dumb. Too true, too true. The fact you brought up something unrelated to the thread at hand and to the current tiers of descriptions makes it completely unbelievable that you know what you were talking about. This guy right here, Tony, another gold star for you. You haven't got a gold star yet, but you certainly earned it. That's available when there are posts coming out when you replied with no troll intention related to DMC before you went troll and still related to the thread. Like I said, that was a long time ago, but I understand what you mean. Yeah, locked thread. Communist tweets have been used in years, and Word of God is far more prevalent on other verses. Except we've agreed and moved on. I believe everyone is final point 1, not sure what point 5. I believe there's a reason why they accept Massive Fire Light, even with assumptions being there. As far as I'm aware, point 1 has been agreed upon. Should have flying. Point 5 has some slight disagreement, but overall support. Points 2, 3, and 4 have been heavily rejected. If we can just apply points 1 and 5 that profiles, this thread can be concluded. It may be worth discussing point 5 in the future, but it seems to have more support than disagreement. After reading the calc, the only bad assumption is time frame for the feat. Yeah, I also agree with points 1 and 5. Okay. So those 1 and 5 from the LP have been largely agreed in the thread. Can someone give a summary of what needs to be changed in accordance with those points? All the characters in the verse who have high hypersonic plus range given from the calc in this blog will have to have these ranges removed and are likely massively hypersonic velocity removed. Do the hypersonic plus characters having feats of reacting bolts at very close range? I believe they will need to have some range, to have those ranges changed to supersonic. The massively fast and light characters will just need the likely massively fast range removed with no other impact on their FTL ratings. I believe I may have typed this myself, though one of the pages is locked. Painful. I looked through each of the pages on the DMC verse page, and the only one that is locked for editing is Dante Devil May Cry. If that can be unblocked or unlocked, I'm pretty sure I'm available and I'll be able to make necessary changes. I unlocked it.
Piss off, Glenn.
Okay, so you think it changed. Okay, so...
Funny how there was more people that disagreed than agreed with him.
No kills. Not once.
So, according to him, as of right now, he's done a tally, and he states right here that apparently, according to him, he has more support. Or hang on, no. Yeah, so yeah, he even agrees that more people disagree with him. Both sides need to tone down the aggression, just focus on the points and arguments without throwing accusations around. This type of behavior will just get the thread locked, and since I want this to be completed properly, I will have to ban such users from applying to this thread. This keeps up. I'm pinging Lord Griffin, couldn't start following Sir Ovens, right away damage star packs, see if they can help out the evaluation here. Alright, so it looks like just another full page to go. Or actually, this one looks a little smaller. Alright, let's continue. I'll reiterate my stance. Earl's issues with defeats are things that affect almost every other verse of video games. Nier, Dark Souls, Bayonetta, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Witcher, Doom, etc. All these verses depend on the reaction speeds of the person playing the game to perform dodges, or in the case some of these verses, perfect dodges, which blurs the line between the feats of the character in the game and the feats of those playing the game. Plus, visual indicators of windups are either game mechanics or canonically mechanics, depending on the context of the verse. I believe that there should be standards for such issues, otherwise it will be locked in eternal combat over who's objectively right when nobody is. Leave my doom alone. If we're at a point of taking votes, at the moment I fall in with Grad's law. If it can be aim dodge, aim react to, sure, but abstainedly, this is not required for the feat to be done. Thus, the point is moot. They react and block lightning and the story. I think Ovens makes the most sense. Grad makes sense to me based on what I've read. That is not required, but that is what they do every time. How's the point moot if they are visibly not reacting to anything in those feats? And the whole is not required for the feat to be done as pure headcanon. No, that is not true based on the description. Bring your description. Well, still going. And I understand I heavily agree with DMC knowledgeables here. Ovens brings up a good point here too. There are DMC knowledgeables on both sides of the argument. No, there isn't. Or are you lying to yourself?
There's an imposter among us.
The thing is, from what you showed me from Sekiro, it has no issue, and it was more the point of your claims of aim dodging, but most verses with the dodging mechanics scale of things that they are capable of dodging. With regard to real lighting or not, until Dargo nukes the standards of E equals AT, real lighting, the current lighting feats would remain. Royal Guard like AT goes before and Village explains the difference between having the guard up beforehand and blocking at the last second. I've seen issue 3 showing times in the strat alone, and people still apply with that's normal block, not royal block, OMG. Yeah, because there's an actual difference, Earl. Also, I noticed I guess at this point Earl's lost his little icon here at the bottom. I wonder what happened there. No, he's not speed down. Laser is fired. He Royal Guards it when the laser is about to hit him. Your aggressor can start at this point. Also, we go 946. See Dante Royal Guard when he's even facing the Brook. He makes the blocking test before laser is fired, though. It means how the fuck is Dante meant to prepare for the attack he's been facing if you love to claim. Slow down the video. Laser fires first. Updating list. I'm not going to read Fetty's another quick take on it because we already know what a Fetty's quick take. Man, this is one of my longer streams. Good lord. Wait. Do they accept comments saying Jubileus is universal? Because if they do, that's straight up bullshit. No, I didn't know about Gears of War 3 having a build. Alright, let's see here. Let's continue. We're almost done. Behind the player looks at the fight from a 3D perspective. Again, Dante can technically look all around him, but whatever. I mean, I guess that would help him out, but, you know, I guess that would mean he'd have to be knowledgeable on the verse to any capacity. No, you forgot me on there. I also disagree with points 2, 3, and 4, and I stand with Dark Wrath on this one. Apparently, Yakuza's come to say today. Go figure. Calling people just results in FRA trains without reasoning. Dude! Again, Earl, you had two highly contestable people who are very clearly biased to the verse agree with you with no reasoning or anything, but because people agree with the other people, now they need to explain their reasoning and everything. Absolutely absurd. Oh shit! And someone called him out for it!
Hypocrite. Simple as that.
Okay, let's see what his argument is. Weekly and Matt have actually argued several times here, though. No, shut the fuck up. Matt has posted a total of 3, maybe 4 times, and 2 of them were 1-sentence rebuttals. Get the fuck out of here. As for Weekly, yeah, Weekly's been saying shit. And DDM already had issues with this before the forum move even happened. Okay, but why can't he explain his reasoning then? Why aren't you asking for his reasoning to support you then? Get the fuck out of here. You can't win this argument. Again, I'm trying to be neutral here, but that one is straight up bullshit.
That's like the most blatant. If you were to look up hypocrisy in a definition, you would find that listed as under it.
To clarify, I support points 1 and 5. The rest gets a no from me. I support with points 1. The others is a no. Good to know. Also, points 1 and 5 have been accepted or removed from the profiles. If people want them back, just make a constant revision thread about it. I agree with King of S and Never wholeheartedly. People's problems with video games in general shouldn't be brought up for one specific verse. As several times, there's no such standard or rule, and for as long as there is no such thing, every verse can take one and have their feats debunked. Other people possibly making mistakes has no stand where the mistakes of DMC are allowed or not. So as I've said several times, can we stop pointing fingers at other verses and start looking at DMC feats themselves? Then would you like to give DMC its proper scaling of infinite speed? People who are not DMC supporters have already agreed that the standard you are arguing to be applied to DMC would affect other verses. It's not a DMC feats only thing. People who are not DMC supporters apparently failed to understand this is not a standard or a rule though, which is why. However, that position is technically wrong either. Like you said, there are no standards here. Therefore, if the majority is against you, you lose. Dude, I'm not creating or denying any standards here, which is kind of the problem. Because Versus Battle Wiki works off a standard basis for every verse. They don't take it one-to-one of the majority of the time. And the fact that they straight up fucking... Okay, here's the problem. I agree with every verse being one-to-one scaling and taking each one individually. But Versus Battle Wiki doesn't do it that way. They don't. They do it as a blanket setup. They're willing to give some leeway per verse, but they mainly do a blanket setup. So Earl's problem here is that by arguing for this, it's blatantly against DMC unless it's applied to every other verse, and that's what people are saying. Earl just doesn't want to accept that because he's against DMC at this point here. The thread's done, so much to close already. There's no such standard in place. Okay, I had debated Earl for an excess of an hour and a half on Discord. You poor soul. Earl stands that the damn rook being blocked is because in order for royal guard to be before the player, he just has to block a few frames before the attack lands, therefore qualifying his aim dodge bullet damage. He also says that in this video he does not see it. My stance is that Dottie performs a royal guard on the laser and it would count towards reaction speed because contextually you can only perform a guard just before the attack hits you, which counts reaction speed. In addition, the video is bad for context because the player is literally trying to demonstrate the royal guard without running and is always locked onto the damn rook. As such, I would be in line with what Earl said, but contextually I disagree with him. Wow, it's almost like when you add context, lore, and statements to DMC, the feats become actually consistent. Holy shit, I fucking must be pulling a rabbit out of my hat here to pull this one off. Furthermore, we had a very long discussion on the status quo, that being the reaction dodge speed should all count towards reaction speed. Some examples include Bane as Witch Time, Circle's perfect dodge, 2B's perfect dodge. You bring in my girl 2B now? Ashley one's dodge roll and max sidestep. This led Earl to arguing that since there are no standards in place saying that the above is true, his argument for reaction speed is valid. I counter to the status quo as granted all these other versus the same non-official standard and DMC is no different. I then continue and said because there is no standard in place, me using the status quo was not invalid. I also understand that Earl's stance is also not made invalid due to the status quo. However, because there is no standard, we are at impasse and with no right to or wrong answer. Fair enough. I then said because of the Beatles limit, we should have a standard in place to prove one side of your right, to which he disagreed and said that he was right because nobody can disprove a stance. I hope I've clarified this whole argument. Also, I would add that I hope do not like Earl's Oof, some lag there. I openly do not like Earl's method in arguments, but I still respect him as a person. Personal bias aside, I maintain my stance purely because I believe Earl is wrong. Do what you will. Alright, fair enough. I no longer agree with point 3. In addition, the video is bad for context. Regarding this, I explicitly did it for the feat, but it can very well happen while you're playing normally, even if you're meant to directly try Royal God only on one attack. Besides, like I explained in the description of this video, my controller is old. Oh, that was him! Oh, that's him doing that! Oh, shit! I mean, disagree kind of on numbers, they agree by a huge amount now. I think we might have our answer. Anyways, after seeing the post, mark me down for disagree. This is not regarded with due time. How's the point of view? They are, though. You really haven't offered any legitimate countermeasure to the perfect block mechanic outside of your own head canon of, well, it's aim dodging. It doesn't have to be. Sure, you can do that in game, but it literally isn't required to perform the feat. It's pointless argument that leads nowhere, though I suppose this is to be expected at this point. Votes seeing massive favor rejecting the controversial thread. If it becomes obvious this is the way the controversial thread, I'll be closing this soon. Is anyone to prove this? Yes, I think it's better to close this. Both sides have laid out their arguments here and off-site. It's not like there's anything new coming up anytime soon. In case this gets closed while I'm sleeping again, I like to have arguments why 2 and 3 and 3 were not accepted as the last post before it's closed. I just read through the massive argument on both Discord and on here. After enjoying a metric ton, I also disagree. Okay, so there is a thread for lightning speed, but I'm not really gonna get into that because for the most part we're we're really close to. Stream still good? Stream still good? Hey guys, is the stream so good or no? Okay, that's a little weird. Hello?
Okay, there you go. There you go.
I was saying, it seems I was gone there for a second.
No, for some reason you could. No, for some reason we could hear you on the stream, but we just couldn't hear you on Discord for some odd reason.
It seems disconnected. Okay, so they do have it. They do have a standard for lightning that needs to carry 1.6 billion joules or voltage of 1 million volts. All right.
Good.
I'm not gonna get into that one because I don't know the science behind that one, so it's fine. You say if I can when you're the one without the feat here, I can show you the scans clearly show it's not doing the same thing. The feat has been posted and proven at least a dozen times in this thread alone. It's been done countless more times outside this thread. Videos, explanations, the whole lot. Rarely do I see a feat be explained in so simple terms and yet in such an in-depth way and still get called false by the opposition. You are making a claim here, e.g. the feat is aim dodging and saying it isn't headcanon. Alright, prove it. Because you haven't yet. You proved no reason to actually side with you on this debate other than contributing noise. Until your side is proven, which from the evidence I've seen is contradicted at every turn, I can't with a straight face consider this a debate. It's a stonewall, plain and simple. Regarding Dargo's post, I'm aware this sort of thing will be revised in the future. Alright. I don't think Lightning was ever used support for AP and DMC ever. That's what Dargo means here. That the HCAP for Lightning should only apply to character moving as fast current, not to mention on DMC profiles. No, the AP based on Lightning bolts. In any case, I'm full agree with Bambi here regarding his disagreement with Earls. I am responding to AKMM claiming that there currently isn't a standard when there clearly is both a standard and that was accepted years ago as clearly on the page. I'm not trying to apply Lightning versions on a DMC thread. That'd be silly. Didn't suspect you were, but I figured I'd better be safe about it. Carry on the Maestro. Agree 1 to 5. Massive front line's a bit rich for me. Just a heads up, I only said I have problems with the FTL stuff. I don't mind Lightning related calculations. I don't think Midas ever said that. I'm the same. Would you mind creating a thread in the future? We can probably find a standard regarding this. I know you're also planning to create a thread for a specific purpose. I look forward to it. I wouldn't mind just switching to footage. Alright, so I guess something about lightning here. Yeah, so let's discuss the above and above. We agreed on one thing. Since I do not agree on those death standards needs to be made, other will make it thread later to this. I can still argue against Bambi. Then we are done with this thread. Alright, so somehow Speed managed to survive. Well, it didn't manage to survive. It got butchered quite a bit, but that's the end of the thread. Ultimately, the actual arguments were very repetitive. Some were well-founded, but the most infuriating thing about this is that there was very clearly a standard Earl was putting on the board that wasn't being applied to his side, and that was probably the most infuriating thing is when that happens.
Oh, that and the gratuitous amount of bias that he blatantly was even showing, not even trying to be subtle about.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely, no question about it. Hang on, so now let's go. So we're going to finish this off with a little sneak preview, because there is a hacks thread as well.
Oh boy, it's gonna be worse. I think I'm not. I haven't took a look at it yet, but I think one of the things that they might be disagreeing with is concept manipulation, perhaps.
Let's see here. So he's listed the games out in perfect manipulation, and it was shut down because there's another controversial thread going up right now. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, deconstruction. The scan does not show. Okay, so the first one was deconstruction. The scan does not show Dante having some sort of special bullet capable of doing this. And this is what happens to demons when they die. Not all of them. Each of them is a different type of death, but this can be even seen in normal gameplay. Don't wax a bunch of demons with a sword or any weapon. They just evaporate or explode after some time. DMC2 does confirm that Dante blows demons out of existence, so I can easily just bring up that scan to debunk this. I'm more going to say that's just how demons work rather than it being an ability Dante has, even if the gameplay isn't a good enough reason. Here's DMC3, demons just exploding. Alright, where's the scan from DMC2's guidebook? Goliath, Artemis, Needhog, Giri Knight's Horse, Gilgamesh, Malphus, and Familiar's Deaths. We already get the point. Okay, so he's arguing that resistance to soul manipulation doesn't exist because it just turns people into demons. Resistance to corruption type 3, Dante's already half demon. Dante shouldn't be affected by the demon world stuff because it is stated by Chan in the novel at the beginning of Mundus, and even Agnew says you're not human. It's supposed to affect only humans, and to quote the novel, Okay, so resistance to soul manipulation, based on the fact, or they're arguing he doesn't deserve it because he's a demon, and the demon world only affects demons, and that he shouldn't have resistance to corruption type 3 because he is a demon, he wouldn't be affected by the effects of the demon world. What are your thoughts on that one, Neo, since that's a little more objective?
Okay. So one of his first arguments were run that for me again. I'm sorry.
So I'm going to go through the easier ones right now, specifically, and then I'll talk about the longer one maybe afterwards.
All right.
They shouldn't have resistance to soul manipulation because it just turns people into demons. And he shouldn't have resistance to corruption type 3 because Dante's already a demon, and the thing doing the corrupting is the demon world.
Well, okay, so this is bullshit for many reasons. Okay, so start with the soul manipulation thing. If to become a demon and to they're like basically if demon and and manipulation of them is synonymous with soul manipulation, then being able to resist stuff like that is soul manipulation. There's no other way around it. It's as blatant as that. And the whole corruption thing, well, there's characters who've there's Kingdom Hearts who got resisted the void manipulation for able to for being able to go into the world of darkness or something. And then there's Legend of Zelda, which also got resistance to mind hacks because they can enter a plane of existence where you get mind hacks if you enter. So no, that's bullshit. There should be no reason that DMC doesn't apply when demons themselves are not affected by those effects and they just naturally resist it. And not to mention, what was I also going to mention? What else was I going to mention? Not to mention, no, I'll just go on for there. Actually, matter of fact, just keep it from there.
All right. Let's continue further. Okay. Okay. Resistance to fear manipulation should be removed because demons do cause fear manipulation on humans. But according to him, the fear manipulation solely works because of humans' sixth sense of danger, not because of mind hacks. So he shouldn't have resistance to fear manipulation, according to this.
No, again, Dante was able to bypass resistances within certain demons, according to Fetty.
Alright. Again, this is for Volume 1 Dante. I will sit down and take a look at this later, but even if they have a sixth sense of danger, that would be based on their mind, because it's a sixth sense. Your sixth sense is a mental one of some capacity. The five senses are physical, the sixth one is usually some sort of mental fucking sense. Just being real here for a minute, that would still be mind hacks.
His point on deconstruction is also wrong, seeing as he already atomically disintegrated fucking, what was his name again? Oh, that's right, Gulliver in the novel.
I do remember that being mentioned.
So that's wrong.
Yeah, I do remember that one being mentioned, that there was atomic destruction, but I also wanted to point out that DMC2's guidebook also has a similar statement that would support it. The resistance to possession seems weird, and there's just a statement of, wouldn't have worked on me. A better scan of him resisting would be better. If Dante outright says it wouldn't have worked on him, that means it wouldn't have worked on him. Why do you need a better scan? What's a better scan than the character confirming an ability wouldn't have worked on him?
Probably a whole novel just explaining how he resists possession.
If there's any grammarly errors in it, it's automatically invalidated. Alright. Why does Dante have power null for Royal Guard? Nullifying an attack isn't power null, as it's not nullifying abilities.
Whoa.
Yeah, I agree with that one. That's a fair question.
No, because here's the thing though. Okay. I understand how he words it how he words it specifically. Yeah, that makes sense. But I'm putting this into the context of I'm putting this into another context, and that's one of the reasons why I disagree with that.
All right, so you wanna share with the class, sir?
Well, specifically, if Royal Guard, if Royal Guard works by just nullifying an attack, then it would be attack negation as opposed to full-on nullifying an ability. So, actually, never mind, I take it back.
Yeah, unfortunately, maybe Mangler can come up with a stronger argument, but unfortunately for right now, with that particular scene in question, there might be a decent argument for that one. That's a fair question to ask. DMC1, soul manipulation should be changed to possibly. It is more like he's theorizing there even is a question mark on the soul, and the cores do seem to be a lot more physical than souls, considering they make sounds when being whacked. Having durability can be damaged by calling on. So it possibly seems here for me. It's not soul manipulation. It is not physical interaction. DMC1 doesn't have Kalina Ann. Are you referring to DMC5 soul cores? Because that's a different story in general. Also, they're hurt by Kalin Ann, which is a non-normal rocket launcher by every capacity and is most likely anti-demon in nature. And most demons, we find out thanks to DMC3, are literally human souls transformed into demons. Because there's no heaven in DMC, it's only hell. Most of those demons were humans at one point. Which is really, well, maybe not most of them, because we do know some demons just exist in the demon world. But demons are basically able to interact with souls directly, and they get turned into freaking demons via their soul.
So
Also,
can we
demon
just
powers soul. Go ahead.
can we just make the conclusion that Earl Paul hasn't even played the games?
Apparently, Afedi can support the claim he's played 3 through 5. So I don't know why the fuck he's talking about the games he hasn't played. Resistance to poison. They strictly tell you to stay away. Why is that resistance? And the poison isn't necessarily lethal, nor would anyone with regen instantly go down from poison. Well, if you have regen, then wouldn't you automatically have resistance to poison then by that logic?
I mean, yeah, by his own logic, that would make sense.
Yeah,
even
so-
though,
Go ahead.
even though being able to resist poison wouldn't innately correlate to regeneration.
I mean,
Anyway.
I can agree with that one, and I can understand that one. But if he's gonna argue that people who have like fucking a healing factor are inherently resistant to poison, then there you go. That's where Dante's poison resistance comes from. Resistance to AZ.
Oh, I think that's an absolute zero. Absolute zero.
This is more of a standard change. It's just resistant to cold since he's being hit by AZ stuff. No, that is wrong. It's below absolute zero, and Dante can be frozen by certain attacks, I believe by the frost, but I could be wrong there. I haven't spent a while since I played DMC1. Just saying, it's below absolute zero. Don't ignore that shit. Don't fucking ignore that shit. I can fucking hear you. Alright, let's continue here. We're almost done. Resistance to ESP. This comes from DMC5. Then if this comes from DMC5, then I have to disagree. It was more like the demons were attracted to the sword instead of Dante. So the sword itself had more presence than Dante, because it would make no sense for a sword to hide its presence when Dante wasn't even wielding it. No. It is directly confirmed that the sword Sparta was protecting Dante and hiding him. So once Dante gets the sword, once he absorbs the Sparta, he should have resistance to enemy sensing presence, because the sword Sparta will very clearly make its presence bigger and affect its presence directly to fucking attract demons. Okay, DMC anime. Regeneration negation should be yeeted. He killed Sid after a battle, and we all know how effective healing becomes after long battles after several statements throughout the series. Healing does not drop in capacity. It never has been shown to drop in capacity. They only get tired. This is a completely wrong statement. This is false. After long battles, we should not rely much on healing, considering how we know it becomes greatly ineffective. That is completely false. We see Dante and Virgil cleave each other in fucking half, and they perfectly heal back up, no problem. All that changes is that they get tired after a long fight. That has nothing to do with their actual healing factor. That is completely false. Resistance to sound manipulation. What kind of sound attacks are we talking about here? There should be more clarification on the profile. Fair enough. Immortality negation, not a thing. Type 5 is not a form of immortality you necessarily need to bypass to end someone.
Oh, what? Okay, so wait, what?
Let me check and see what immortality type 5 is. Immortality.
Type 5? Oh, Type 5 immortality is basically like characters who lack a death, who lack a conventional death. Like, for example, characters who can't be killed conventionally. For example, let's say a character is beyond the concept of death. You would have Type 5. That's like the most highest application of it, but
Why
yeah. Or characters who are like non-existent. Since they don't exist, they don't have
Type
death.
5 immortality comes from Void Mundus, by the way.
Oh, I was gonna say, is that from Argosax? When did Argosax get type 5 immortality? That's pretty good. Okay.
I'm pretty sure Argosax would also have Type 5 immortality on top of that.
Argosax directly stated to be immortal. So Dante bypasses some form of immortality in order to kill him. So Neo, do you have to bypass type 5 in order to kill somebody?
I mean, if your character, okay. If your character is literally beyond the concept of death, and you're able to kill them and all that stuff, you would have to literally be able to resist. I mean, you have to be able to bypass it because they literally can't die. There's no other way around it.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense.
So he's
They just have to have.
Oh, go ahead.
Like for example, let's say I have a character who has type 5 immortality, and I managed to like kill him, like permanently put him out, like he's gone. Like I didn't just defeat him; he's gone. I would have to have
Is what
negation of
Dante
type
did
5.
to Void Mundus, by the way.
Yeah, he would have to have resistance to type 5 because he was able to kill something that doesn't have death.
Okay,
That
So
explains itself.
So when he says type 5 is not a form of immortality, you necessarily need to bypass to end somebody. That's wrong.
Yeah, that's literally wrong. That's wrong by definition. If I literally have a concept of death and I kill them, that means I'm resisting their type 5 because they die despite the fact they have no concept of death.
Alright, couldn't agree more on that one. That seemed kind of weird. Fear manipulation, broken link. Someone should fix it. I believe this is referencing the smell of fear. It's an item. Don't know if you want to give item powers to Dante. Dimensional travel. Why seems a bit weird. He just beats the boss and a portal opens, Bloody Palace style. He should have dimensional travel because he should scale the Sparta and other demons who can create those portals. Just saying. Even though we do know that he doesn't do them himself most of the time, because according to Before the Nightmare, he needed the Shard of Yamato, or he waited for the Shard of Yamato to let him out. Dante should be able to break out on his own. Normal demons can break out on their own too. Resistance to mind manipulation. Demon world energy. I went over before with the whole human and demon thing. Dante's still part human, and his human half can resist it. So while he's still technically overall a demon, I feel like you should give him to him just because he has the humanity. But even then, let's assume that doesn't work. That would just mean demons naturally can resist it. So they can naturally resist mind manipulation and all these other things as well. Demons are just naturally resistant to it. Okay. Resurrection. It should probably be stated on the profile with Gold Orb, assuming that's the reason he has it. Oh, now you want to give fucking Gold Orb. Oh, well, he doesn't know about the Fear Manipulation. BFR with Yamato. Why? Yamato opens portals to the underworld. It doesn't BFR. BFR means to send somebody somewhere by force. AFK, Yamato has no ability where it forces people somewhere else. They have to willingly log to the portal. Soft this with portal creation. Or you can... Yamato resurrects Nero. It's even confirmed TMC 5. Okay, that's fair, but I thought this was for Dante. And that would only scale to Yamato and Virgil. Maybe Nero, but mainly just Yamato and Virgil. Minor transmutation with Gilgamesh. I'm confused on this one. I don't remember any transmutation with Gilgamesh. Haven't played DMC4 in a while, but someone should remind me why this is and put that... Haven't played DMC4 in a while! Fuck you!
Rip.
The minor transmutation, by the way, is that Gilgamesh turns organic matter into steel. You want to know when the last time I played DMC4 was? Like last fucking year. Again, you don't know your shit. Hell, let me just look at several fast. Let me just for the sake of argument, let me just go ahead and Google something real fast. Just hear me for a minute. Let me see. Let's go ahead and go to made of devilish metal that absorbs organic material and transforms it into steel. Yep. Wow. It's almost like I fucking knew that because I actually scaled the verse and know what I'm talking about. Oh, crazy. Resistance to sealing. No, Sparta separated the two worlds. It wants specifically able to portal between them. It does not resist or bypass sealing. It just bypasses the separation, which is what dimensional travel is supposed to do by default. Open a portal between two separated places. That's fair. That's a fair one. That's a fair one to bring up there. I don't think Dante would have direct resistance to sealing based on that, unless we can confirm like Mundus or Sparta did. Gravity manipulation needs to scan. Psychochemistry. What the fuck is this?
Basically, the ability to know things by knowing your surroundings. Like for example, let's say I put my hand on the wall and I know everything that happened around the area just by filling the wall or something like that. Basically, stuff like that. You can look that up on Virtual Wiki. They have like a page for that.
No. I agree with you. I'm trying to think of who has psychochemistry though. Who would have that? You could argue V might have that because V's aware of material and stuff and everything he touches. Yeah. I think V immediately realizes his cane in the manga is part demonic in nature, despite the fact that he only touches it once. I think that's where it comes from. I could be wrong though. I'll have to relook into that later. Gravity manipulation, also not sure where that comes from either. That's a little weird. Is that from... I don't know where that... Hey, chat. You guys, let me check chat real fast. You guys know where those things come from?
See if anyone actually says anything.
Okay. Do any of you guys is Amalphus? Is Malphus the gravity manipulation or psychochemistry? Because Malphus does have a gravity attack. That's right. That's right. No. I think Malphus does have a gravity attack. I think I remember her having like a sucking attack. And Malphus like the one thing you don't want to get sucked by. What about the psychochemistry though? That has to be V, right? That has to be V. But even then, I don't think that was. Oh shit. Yeah, that should have a justification already. Because even I'm a little stumped on that one. Overall, this one's a lot better than it is. This one's a lot better than the speed one was. Very excited to see this one not go that far. Because I doubt this one will last that long. Because a lot of this stuff is fair. A lot of this stuff is pretty easy to work with. I do disagree with some of the Volume 1 Dante shit. Also, why do you bring up Volume 1 Dante and then bring up Volume 2's novel? Or Volume 2? Come on. If you're going to post your fucking thread, at least make it a little more clean. Alright, so, V, okay, so here's a Fetty's thread real fast for V. I'll just go over it real fast, and then I will finish off this live stream today at around 3 hours, 48 minutes. You know what we're calling gravity manipulation? Okay, well, read this claims to Malphus. V is lacking power sensing, since hears and powers 2 times. V is lacking telepathy. V is waiting outside down the shop while talking normally to Griffin. On the next page, V is inside the shop and has a small conversation with Griffin. He's telepathy talk to Grillen. V is lacking soul manipulation. V encounters Nightmare. To have a Nightmare summon, V decides to take Nightmare's core. Scan with V holding Nightmare. Good, remember the core means their soul. On the profile, V is stated to be 10B with a cane, but when he's using his demonic power, he's capable of killing and Poofas easily. V's demonic power on his cane is also shown in game, and he's also able to punch through a Nightmare, take his core, and everything about it. I want to make clear V's killing Nightmare or not isn't the point. The true objective is removing 10B, recognizing he's truly hard 10B alone. V summon hacks on his profile is lacking summon cane. V itself doesn't have don't have resurrect, but Nightmare does and is also capable of healing and summons V. When Nightmare wounded V after V. Okay. V's resistance to Beast Head hacks simulation should be removed. He is human, only demons and hybrids. And V would scale way harder than Burial. I think V would still be resistant to the Beast Heads though. V should scale to Nightmare. Even if you want to argue that the Nightmare is a little weaker, he still blows it completely apart. V should straight up scale a Nightmare. That's completely absurd to think otherwise. Alright, we'll save this one for another day. Hang on. Okay, so this is pretty short, but I'd rather talk about this at the end when it's already taken care of. So with that, you boulders floating inside that dimension in Mission 14. Ah, okay, so that's where gravity manipulation comes from. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so thank you guys for your time as always. Hope you guys enjoyed most of the thread for the most part. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys on the next live stream or video. Hopefully I'll be able to get a video up today or something, because I do need to start making videos again. But unfortunately I do have an essay due still, so we'll talk about that later. Thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys on the next stream or video.